What's up, everybody? Here we are. It is your favorite region-locked ladder event. I'm the Doctor, being joined by none other than Brad Mash on Block Masters. And we are here tonight, and it is a special night for many, many reasons. But first of all, is we're sponsored tonight. We have our friends over at Hitbox who have taken it upon themselves to sponsor tonight, and we want to thank them so much for that, and we'll be able to talk about them more as the night goes on. But Brad, why don't you tell people about the other super cool thing tonight?
Yeah, the other super cool thing is, like every other edition of the Kickback that we have been doing so far, we have brought you a guest, and tonight's guest is somebody that has been chilling with us, I feel like, since Casa's inception, right? Like, even back in the COVID days, we were watching our friend Teiga play in matches. Teiga, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm chilling. I'm laughing right now. My first round opponent is JV.
Oh, damn. Okay. It's like that. We're having that kind of night.
So, I mean...
Casa ladder bracket is the hardest tournament outside of Group F, let me tell you.
Oh, 1000%. But it's funny, too, because, Teiga, this isn't your main game.
No.
At all.
No. Be prepared to hear that OS the entire day.
So, for those of you, in chat who might not know Teiga's name just off rip, he is coming from, DNF fame, really ran the brackets on that tournament. No other versus game or anime title is behind Teiga, just, DNF.
Wait, am I allowed to curse?
Yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you
Are you
want.
shitting me? Are you fucking with me right now? Am I a joke to you? You said DNF? DNF.
So,
you said DNF.
Yo, you want to know what my favorite part is? The best part is there's a 50-50 that he's ribbing you or that he genuinely doesn't know.
No, Brad, come on now. I was there in the beginning of Casa. I remember Casa Grand Blue. But
oh yeah, that's the old lore.
And I don't know if you remember this, Brad, but do you remember 2019 ECT? So New England,
yes.
We had Lennox and people, they showed up and they did really well. Teiga was also there, got top 8, and then left.
We don't talk about these.
A lot of people there's something about ECT 2019, the number of people that I know that came for one day and then were like, what do you mean I made it to Sunday? Shit, what do I do now? You're not the first person that I've heard that story from, which is
I did it
just
in
kind of
2022.
nutty.
I did it in 2022 too.
You set yourself up twice?
All right,
I was there.
All right, to be fair, right? Let me explain. Right, so I went to ECT for Grand Blue and DNF, right? And I set the condition to myself that if I won Grand Blue, which I did not expect to do, I would not sign up. I would DQ from DNF, right?
Fair.
So I ended up winning Grand Blue, but prior to winning Grand Blue, I had gotten top 8 in DNF, and I was just like,
"Oh,
damn,
right." Oh my god, I commentated that top 8 and you were gone. I forgot about that.
I was like, look at that. I got my little trophy for ECT. It would be a real shame if I just had to DQ, right? Ended up DQing.
Jeez.
I'm sure you...
That was a crazy top 8 anyway, because that had Yipes in it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, something about ECT. People just don't want to play in those top 8s for whatever reason, and you get this sick trophy. So I don't know what it is. Something they don't like vinyl, I guess.
ECT might have the best trophies in the biz, no lie.
You'd be hard pressed to find better trophies in
what do you
really
want,
any esport.
I gotta wear a wrestling belt. I can't hang it. If I do, I gotta set up some stuff. The vinyl record's already set for it.
Yeah, that is true. You aren't that tall.
Jesus Christ.
All right,
so for those
in
the audience, for those in the audience that maybe don't know, because Doctor, set this up with a little bit of a meme, but Street Fighter, not your main game. Tell the people at home a little bit about what your background in fighting games predominantly is.
I started with Street Fighter 4.
Okay.
After Street Fighter 4, I think I dabbled with... Jesus Christ, what game did I dabble in? I don't really remember after Street Fighter 4. I just remember coming back to Street Fighter 5. Why are you losing?
So you did Street Fighter 4, you dabbled a little bit in Marvel 3,
Oh yeah, I
And
forgot about
then
Marvel 3.
I think you played a little bit of Cross Tekken as well.
Yeah, a little bit of
But
cross second.
that game was pretty much dead on arrival, so it didn't matter. And then we didn't see you for a long time. I think you were like in school.
Oh yeah, that's what happened. I was in school
And-
trying to get my degree.
Yeah,
And
and then you turned into a Ryu main somehow.
Oh,
So-
don't say somehow. You know exactly how it ends up as a Ryu main.
So many layers of what I love right now. One is that Bunch is out here answering Teiga's questions, and two is that while that's happening, you just casually perfect JB in the first round.
that was
here
perfect. I didn't
of our
notice.
ladder portion. Oh, you didn't
know.
notice? Yeah, just casually not noticing.
If you didn't notice, when you look at the timer next time, there's a little P next to it, which signifies perfect.
You think he's gonna get hit by this overhead? I'm gonna try the overhead.
I don't know, but we get to watch like 5 to 7 seconds behind, so I'm really curious to see how that ends up going.
I wonder if we missed it already, because he's just getting mollywopped right now.
No, he's definitely. That's actually low key my favorite part. Is that means he does it in a really stupid spot.
Okay.
All right, where does he do it? I think it's gonna be right
There
here.
it
Damn,
is.
we're really far behind you.
Oh, it didn't work,
I got
chat.
stunned. I got
CFN
stunned.
giveth and CFN taken away in terms of spectator delays sometimes.
Yeah, it's... there's really no rhyme or reason to it either, is the fun part. You just get
Nope.
to guess. It's a true mix-up. But...
Oh
Ooh.
man, low forward. Unfortunately, you're by the wall. That actually low-key sucks too, because he still gets the opportunity to stun you again.
Right here.
Like there.
Which we did hear Teiga mention that, but yeah, no, I mean, to your point, Brad, it was funny that Bunch comes in and he just has like this weird
I haven't been
boomer
playing for a while,
encyclopedic
but please don't
knowledge.
disrespect me like
Because I feel
that.
like anything like past time, we can ask Bunch and he'll probably have an answer, or at the very least know who to ask for said answer. But I mean, so actually, I'm curious what you meant, Teiga, by you know how you became a Rio main. Because
Okay, so it's Sanford's fault. It's Sanford's fault.
all right.
Sanford's fault? That's what you said? Okay. That like I wanted to know, now I want to know more.
Okay.
Because that adds like I am immediately assuming there's a little bit more spice to it.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's see. Does he? No, I don't want to do anything with that.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Really nice.
So when I say it's Sanford's fault, so my name Teiga comes from the fact that I was a Gen player, right?
Okay.
And one of Gen's ultras, the Ultimate Spider one, was named Teiga, so that's what I named myself after, right? Growing up in New York City, there was like a whole bunch of players that you could play, and one of them was Sanford Kelly, right? I used to get heckled by Sanford quite frequently, to the point like it was really annoying, and he kept telling me how cheap Gen was, and I was like, yo, I really don't feel like hearing this right now, but at the same time, like, the experience that I got from playing him was invaluable, so I dealt with the heckling.
Tracks.
Wait, so you would play him and he would heckle you while you were playing him?
He would pause mid-set and tell me why this character was cheap. And I was like, yo, you gotta be fucking shitting me.
That's such a New York thing to do.
Mid-set,
real.
really?
Yo, I once went 1-1 in a 1st to 10 with Sanford Kelly. That's it. It went 1-1.
And then what? It just turned into a conversation?
It's never really a conversation.
So
It's a
It turned into
listening. It's a lecture.
It turned into a blog post.
So he won the first game, and then I won the second. And my teammate at the time, Nick Hero, he clapped for me, and then suddenly game 3 got paused, and he said, "So you're really gonna do that?" Nah, I'm good.
Bro, what?
What? Is that why kids can't handle heckling anymore? They just hear the clapping and they're just like, nope, putting the controller down. I'm done.
There's a joke to be made that I'm not going to make because it's way too topical and it's sad about America. But
Nah, tell us, fraud.
fraud? I was going to make a gun violence joke, Bunch. That's way too dark for this.
Oh, damn it.
Brad, we're sponsored.
Yeah, so don't play chicken with me.
So yeah, so Sanford like involuntarily made me a Ryu player because he kept complaining how cheap Gen was, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick up the most bare bones fundamental character ever, and I was picking Ryu. So yeah, cool. And then season 1 of Street Fighter V happened, and Ryu just hit like a brick, had unblockables, had throw loops mid screen. I was like, yeah, I'm here. Like the joke is that like prior to that, none of my characters were like fundamentally sound. I played Gan in Street Fighter 4. I played Scorpion in MKX. I played Seth in Under Night. I was literally just picking characters that like mixed you to death, and now I'm playing Shotos.
Is that like, what is it about like mix up heavy characters that draws you towards them ordinarily? Because obviously that's a style that you end up to really naturally then.
So I ended up picking Gen because of my childhood. It wasn't even a playstyle thing. Like, I grew up on like old Chinese martial arts movies, like watching them with my pops.
Okay.
So like old Jackie Chan, Iron Monkey, Donnie Yen, Sammo Hung. So I saw
Your
Gen.
choices were Gen or Fei Long.
Yeah, but I didn't want to pick Fei Long because I kind of like the old master vibe that I got from Gen. So it was literally just an age thing that made me end up picking Gen. So I was like, all right, cool. I like Gen. And then Gen kind of like opened my eyes into this like idea of like, I like being rewarded for my execution. So I was like, all right, cool. So now I have Gen. I'm going to learn Gen. I'm going to stick to Gen. And then I was enjoying Gen. Like I even picked up stick because I sucked at doing hands on pad. I was like, all right, cool.
Sure.
And then this is like around the time that I started beating like Bunch, I'm a David Tyson, Urguys, Glitch, Dominion, Steve, Lionheart. Yeah, so, and then from there it was just like, yo, Sanford really just my sheer, I don't know if we want to call it like hatred or pettiness, but like that one strong ass emotion just said, fuck everything. I just want to prove a point to Sanford.
Just learning Ryu out of spite.
Yeah, I'm good at this game, and I'm going to prove it to you by playing Ryu.
That's kind of leaning more towards the evil Ryu path, isn't it?
I mean, if anything, it's the exact opposite of Sanford, the mentality that Sanford is famous for. Mr. Pick a Top Tier inspired you to jump down the tier list.
Yeah, which is funny because before I came like into the competitive scene as a Gen player, I played Vanilla Akuma.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah. So this is. Oh, I have to fight. Someone should have had. Nice. So first I get JD, and now I get my countryman. Is this bracket rigged?
Only slightly. You know, we do a random drawing every time you hit matchmake.
Oh my god. Is it Batose?
No.
Oh. Then
It's someone named Lion Boy.
I don't care.
Boy.
Man said I don't care. Okay, so this is maybe a chewier question than you can answer when you're about to load into a game. But so you said you're somebody that likes being rewarded for your execution. How do you feel then as somebody who was playing since Street Fighter 4 and you've seen the execution floor of fighting games going down? Like, how does that make you feel as a player who, like you just said, you appreciate having your execution rewarded?
I will answer your question with a simple statement.
Oh, with a simple statement.
I'm a Grand Blue player now. Just.
You know what? That's fair as hell. Actually, that says everything it needs to say.
I'm not jacking that shit. Whatsoever. You're a Lancelot player.
Sure, but it's still Grand Blue at the end of the day.
No. You're a Lancelot player.
Yeah, I like to mix.
Yeah. So don't be like, oh, I play Grand Blue. I'm neutral. Nah, stop that.
No, he's not. He's talking execution, not neutral.
Yeah.
It's all about. I said, what do you think about dumbing down execution? He said, my main game has one button special moves. That is an answer.
Like, it's not something I'm like a fan of. Oh, Jesus. It's not something that I'm a fan of, but it's like, what I'm gonna do, bitch and not play? Like,
apparently that's an option for some people.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, and most of the people who take that option actually go with a bitch, tweet about it incessantly, and keep playing even though you hate it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say nothing.
Or pretend to delete the game.
Pretend to delete the game is incredibly
it's
true.
so easy too because you just right click uninstall, take a screenshot of that, and then hit cancel real quick, and you just post that to Twitter.
You miss. I was about to say, I'm like, you missed the part where you tweet the screenshot.
That's my shit.
But so I mean, if we're talking about execution though, you know, you're still playing Ryu. You know, the character really hasn't changed all that much ever, right? So I mean, does it feel nice coming from 5, coming into 6, and having Ryu, what, mid-tier?
No, because so one of the main reasons I played Akuma and Kage was they even though like execution in Street Fighter V was like relatively lowered, there were still like instances that you had like execution heavy things. Oh, you're still pressing buttons. That's crazy. Like Akuma had like a big body combo. Okay, I respect the DP. You think I'm a DP again? I'm curious.
The amount that Doctor and I are being mixed by you alternating between answering us and your train of thought and then live switching back to match commentary is OD. Yeah, so you find pockets of execution where you're like, yeah, I appreciate that I can squeeze a little bit more out of this.
Exactly. Like like Akuma had a big body combo. Kage had a big body combo. Kage just felt like
Kage had some stuff.
Yeah, Kage had like really fun stuff. I'm just like, this is what I can like play for. So don't jump. But yeah. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Oh yeah, Armor Demon was fun too. Kara Demons.
So you don't feel that there's really anything currently in 6 that has those little pockets for you?
No.
Do you think it's something that is on the radar that they might add later? Or do you think that 6 is just in such a pocket that it's not really going to get, more of that heavy stuff?
It's hard to say, like part of me would love it if they did it, but do I think it's actually going to happen? Wow, you just bet the farm.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I'm inclined to believe that. I think it's pretty clear that the direction of a lot of these games has been like widening the input buffer, de-emphasizing super tight links in favor of making decision-making the big deal. And I think what's interesting is like when you tell me that you like being a mix-up player, you like mixing people up, that's like that almost translates to you like making more decisions. Like you like playing a fast game.
Oh, dead. Cool. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, I fucked up. We're gonna do this again.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting about that is like historically, East Coast is known for a slower style, right? And if you've been around since Street Fighter 4, you're a New York guy. You like cut your teeth with all the players that were emphasizing these much slower styles. Like, how was that navigating being like an aggressive, fast-paced player in an environment where maybe that was a little bit less emphasized?
So it's weird because there were like, I feel like I could still lane as a player. It's just like, it wasn't ideal, right? Like,
yeah.
So I guess if we're talking like mix-up oriented characters, I'd have to refer to Lance because he's one that I'm more commonly known for. And I would still lame out zoners as Lance. It's just like, it's not something that you should like aim for in a sense. It's not something that you should be like striving for. I should just be brushing your shit down and not really thinking about it. But after a while, I realized that like there is some like I guess use in being able to like mix between the two play styles, because sometimes you might just want to slow it down to like figure out what your opponent is doing. Sometimes you want to speed it up and see how like they respond to like high pressure situations. So it kind of like helped being aggressive in like a slower pace and like a slower pace scene at first, and then eventually my playstyle kind of gravitated towards that in a sense, because I wanted to see like, if I just sit here and do nothing, what would you do? Like, how would you respond? And then that kind of like gave me like a footing of like how you would deal with some things as a player, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I'm sure it kind of changes depending on, what format you're running, right? Whether it's a first to 2 like we're currently running, or, once you get to top 8s and they start running first to 3s, or, the money match that's first to 10, like all of those, you kind of need to showcase both, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's funny now because like, I think I've like fully taken on like the East Coast lame philosophy. It's just like people just be trying to guerrilla, so sometimes you just gotta beat your chest and guerrilla back.
Yeah,
well, I think there's something to be said about like you can still play a mix-up heavy character and you can choose when to take your shot, right? Like, just because you play a character that has a lot of mix-ups doesn't mean that you need to play with your face forward the whole time, right? You can still have a lamer style and be like, word, I'm in the pocket and I can start to run my game. Let's go. Now I can do what I want to do.
It also almost feels like characters are just simply getting more tools these days, right? Like if we take to say Lancelot, right? It's a mixed character, but you can still throw a fireball to try and keep some space. Ryu, you're throwing fireballs, you're DP, like you just have tools. Whereas like in some of the older titles, it felt like you had a game plan, you did the game plan, and if you didn't, then GG's.
That's not real.
I have a question for Teiga.
Oh God,
Go for it.
what's up?
Yo, every time you went to a tournament, how come you didn't invite me?
Son, all right. So you know what it was? You're talking about like guys days, right?
I was talking about any days, any days that you could have easily. I would have drove.
Bunch will drop everything to hop on a flight.
I drove me, you, Tyson, and Steve into the middle of upstate New York in the snow and home round trip.
Uphill both ways.
Uphill both ways. So I need to know, why don't you love me?
I love you, Bunch. So back at that time,
No, you don't.
back at that, wow, that's crazy. So back at that time, it was more like,
You were scared of me?
no, don't flatter yourself.
I don't think that's an issue.
Don't flatter yourself is crazy.
So it was really just like the spot, like
I was him.
no, no. It was really just like sporadic timing. Like I would literally just be up on like SRK forums or Event Hub forums looking for tournaments. Oh, that was a good level 3. And just like, yo, oh, there's a tournament happening today? What time is it? All right, I gotta leave like right now. Like it's not like I'm finding these, oh, damn it, I missed my DP. It's not like I'm finding out these tournaments like weeks in advance or like days in advance. If I knew about a tournament and it was like, okay, this shit is happening like a week, yeah, that's when I let you know. But like, if that shit was happening like 2 hours, like 4 hours from now, and I have to go to sleep and wake back up, yeah, I'm not trying to wait for anyone. I'm just dipping. I'm going. Like that's how I usually operated. So it had nothing to do with fear or anything, because I invited you to the same tournaments that I would go to by myself. It had nothing to do with that. It's literally just
one tournament. I got invited to one tournament. I don't even think you invited me that day.
That was such a serious answer to a like nonsense question.
No,
It only got more nonsense the more like adjectives we started adding on. Like, oh no, he was afraid. That's why he didn't invite me.
No, I always ask Teiga that because they're.
Did he just disappear? Like
Yeah,
that
I
was
think-
mid-word, right? I'm not bugging.
I think he disappeared into
Dog
the
shit.
ether.
I gotta have what's his face look at this shit.
Oh, your mic?
Mr. Orlando.
No, Mr. Verizon Fios.
Oh, damn.
yeah. I saw Group F in Capcom Cup. If so, who's my money on? I want to say Angry Bird.
Angry Bird's him. No, it's me. It's definitely me. I was having
that-
these issues.
The
Couple
New York
days ago.
internet.
Yeah, it's actually astounding that I'm having these issues. $100 a month, by the way.
Oof.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with it. We've watched it in 8-bit before. We're good. Oh, nice little check on the rush forward with the OD fireball.
Oh, I think I might have died for that. Wait.
Oh,
man.
we're waiting.
I think at this point we're like literally 15 seconds behind Teiga.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
15.
good low forward. It's a long time between what you're talking about and what happens for us.
Good. Good check. What's good? What's good? I'm dying.
I'm still shook. Oh, is this must be what they're talking about?
Oh
Nope.
man, but
No cancel.
Cybertron, yeah, drops. This is doable but scary.
Chip is an actual factor here too, because those level 3s get really chunky for Chip.
They do, but it's going to have to be a hot minute before that would happen. You would have needed the throw before then. Oh, wake up jabs. Yeah, I think you're done, right? That's the set.
Yep.
Yep.
Pardon while we catch up.
Yeah. So it's actually kind of nice, Brad, because usually we're like right into the next match already by the time we get out of this one.
Thanks for the Kuma guys, Teiga. Not a problem, fam.
So speaking of Group F, Teiga, obviously, we do have Capcom Cup coming up. It's going to be, huge event, money everywhere. I'm a little less interested about the groups, but what about this LCQ, right? Like, there are some really good killers making their way out there for even a chance to get into the cup itself.
So LCQ, there are people who I want to win, and there are people who I think will just flat out win. All right.
Yeah.
So, for example, I think I want Tokido to win. All right, because if
Good choice.
If I had a favorite player, which I don't right now, it'd probably be closest to him. All right.
He's definitely the one that all the people tweeting about it seem to have his name in their mouth as the example.
But do I think realistically that he will win? It'd be really hard. The bracket is just that stacked. So it's not and he has really good showings, but again, really stacked bracket. Oh god, if I lose to this character, Najee will never let me hear the end of it.
It does feel group based too, right? Because once those groups for LCQ get locked in, they're probably going to have a similar situation to what the Cup itself has, right? Because we were looking at it earlier today. 320 people entered, roughly 8 brackets of 40 or 8 groups of 40, I think is what was said earlier. That's still potentially a lot of opportunity for too many killers to end up in one kitchen.
Definitely agree. I saw Bonchan was there. I saw Kakeru was there. I'm like, this bracket's gonna be a bloodbath.
No, somebody actually, and I retweeted it earlier if I'm able to find it, but somebody had tweeted out what the projected top 16 of LCQ is, and it's Tokido, Bonchan, Punk, Kakeru, Goichi, Moke, Daigo, Sako, Problem X. It's there's so many killers in there.
Caveat: it is the Smash.gg prediction.
Sure.
Which, honestly, I would take a random Twitter post prediction over Smash.gg's.
It's historically pretty accurate with me, let me tell you. It's this guy has no record.
We know you're going 0-2, Brad. We don't.
Okay, stop it.
Wow.
We don't need a prediction for that.
See me in any game, Doctor.
Any game? All right.
See me in Duck Duck Goose, dude. I'll smoke you.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you got to get that practice in for a couple months. Well, I guess a couple years from now. But
what is the format of this event? It's ladder style till top 8. So you could I just keep playing people until the time is up, which is in an hour and a half, and then if I make it into top 8, I play in top 8. If I don't, I don't.
So it's ladder for 2 hours. We start at 7. Ladder closes at 8:55. If you qualified for top 8, that then gets you into a double elimination bracket where all of the top 8 qualifiers start from winners. And it's just a standard double elim from there. First to 3 the whole way in top 8. Ladder is first to 2.
Historically, a pretty crazy bracket too. We get a lot of killers in this usually, so don't think that just because it's ladder and you get to play a lot of games, it means you're gonna have an easy time. It is just as stacked as any other tournament. It's just you get to play for 2 hours against like-minded people who are all just as interested in you in improving.
And you really do get out what you put in, right? The one we point to every single week, and there's a reason we do, is 40% flash kick, right? Averaging 19 games a week in a 2-hour span, it is an Iron Man for them. And they get to play all of those same top players, whether they make top 8 or not, because they're just throwing themselves at the bracket.
Oh, that was a big jump in for purple, but it didn't lead to as much as you would want.
Okay.
No. They do just now gain access to the level 2, but I don't even know if they're going to get it. Oh, I was going to say, I don't think they get a chance to use it, but then the interrupt comes through. Burnout now is a real problem, though. There it is.
See, I have maybe a pointed question that is inspired by this, but it's not a topic that I ever really bring up, and it's because I think by and large I don't usually care about rank. But like, what do you think is the place? Like, first of all, do you net play at like any reasonable amount, Teiga, or are you more of like a local sets kind of person?
All right, so
For Street Fighter 6, we'll say.
Well, let's say in general. Well, yeah, Grand Blue's not the best example until recently.
so I play online a lot. Like, I'm a crackhead when it comes to playing online. I won't do online tournaments, but if it's like sets or like ranked or like casuals, I have no problems cracking out. So when I was before Grand Blue Rising dropped, I was actively playing Street Fighter 6 ranks. I was playing with Ryu. I was playing with Ken. I hit like 2K MR with Ryu. I was trying to hit like 2K MR with Ken. So yeah, I will crack out on ranked because for me, ranked is just like a way of like it's just practice, like live practice, I guess if you want to call it that. Okay. So like
that was gonna be my next question. Is like, all right, first of all, do you play? Second of all, what do you think the place of ranked is?
It's practice. I see it nothing more as practice. So for me, it's more like, okay, imagine like there's a sequence that you see happen often, and you want to practice against it, right? So you train you train for it, you learn what you can do. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you learn what you can do, and then now that you learned your options, you want to like be able to practice it. Like, you want to see if you can apply it in like a real setting. Ranked is that setting for me, right? Where like, okay, now I can see if this is like actually applicable in a real time match. Because sometimes, well, not sometimes, but like, I feel like majority of the times we lab for certain instances and it's not really that practical. Like, you might like let's say for example, like versus Cammy spin knuckle, right? You might say, oh, if you know it's coming, you can like press fierce or roundhouse it, right? But that is like, I am on speed, I'm on Adderall, I'm on some type of drug that just makes everything look slow. So it's not really like practical. Like, it's possible, but it's not practical. So then you start like weighing your other options. Let me try stand medium punch. Let me try a jab. So ranked for me is that like that applying the theory that I learned previously and seeing how practical it is in like an actual application. When I have a mental stack on top of me, when I'm like trying to like look for like 8 different things and I get the one thing that I've been practicing, that's the time I want to see if it's like usable.
So you must be looking at like some of these other titles that are getting replay takeover and just be so excited then, right? Because this sounds exactly like kind of the evolution of what you're talking about, where it's like, you know, you set up the training bot to spin knuckle you know, for 1,000,000 times and you just push every button. Whereas now you can be like, I got spin knuckled here because I hit fierce. Let me just take it over and hit another button.
Yep. Will this go? Yeah, it's gonna go.
Now, is that type of thing, that type of like deep training mode, is that something you do a lot?
All right, so before Grand Blue Rising dropped, right, I was doing like an anti-character guide, like once every 2 weeks for any character I just randomly selected in Street Fighter 6, just because I wanted to see like what could I do with certain options. Random example that happened earlier was I was fighting that Luke player. He did target combo, and he canceled it into... Oh, he didn't tap there. That's disappointing. Like, he did target combo and canceled it into, like, EX Sandblast. I'm like, oh, you can't do that versus me. I have a DP. Because that was a sequence that I practiced against. And I was like, huh, what can I do here? So it's just like... It's kind of just like, all right. I think I've released... Like, before Rising dropped, I think I was, like... I want to say I was like 60-70% done of the entire roster. I think I only had like 5. I think I had like only 5 characters left.
Now, say somebody wanted to watch that, where would they find it?
Up on my YouTube channel.
So youtube.com/NYC Teiga, is that correct?
Teiga 93.
Okay.
But ironically enough, I tried to stop using New York because even though I like reside here, I would like to like try to show some type of homage to like my home country.
Okay.
So and it gets like really like weird. Like why? It was like really common to hear like, oh, why do you have this flag on your like your socials, but you represent New York? I'm like, that's a very good point. Should probably stop that.
Oh, well.
Instead, you lean the other way to be like, well, if I'm gonna fly the flag, let's associate me with it.
Yeah. No, you tag.
So when you're like thinking of these guide ideas and like the anti-guides, are these just things that you're getting hit by on ranked? Do you make note of it, or do you just like internalize it, and then when you're in the lab later, be like, oh wait, yeah, I did get hit by target combo OD sandblast. Let me figure out what I can do here.
So it's more like Twitter. Like I'll see some random some random thing on Twitter. I'm like, all right, but you see, I play Ryu, so obviously the tech I'm seeing on Twitter is not going to be Ryu. It's going to be like Ken or Luke or Cammy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, what's the Ryu option here? I'm like, all right, cool. Let me see where I can go from here.
So that's pretty nice. Then you're taking this underutilized character and just literally pushing it forward, just because nobody else is.
Yeah.
Well,
That's pretty.
It also reads to me like you're the buzzkill of Twitter tech. Like you see the Twitter tech and you're like, yeah, I'm not impressed. Let me poke the holes in this. Have you always been a buzzkill?
Yes. as long as much as know me.
I can confirm. Sucks the fun right out of any room. It's impressive at some points of the night.
Oh man, it does take a real talent to be a wet blanket, Brad. Like it,
I know.
Trust me, you're gonna get better at it. But
believe you me, I have had to douse many a spark in my life. Let me tell you.
What?
What is he talking about?
I'm not even.
He's not even a dad yet.
What's
he talking about?
Like, what is going on?
he's just so excited to ruin fun. He's just dreaming of coming home and crashing a house party in his own house.
When all that happened, Teiga got like a sick confirm. He's like the demons in his head are just like invading. And he's like, I just gotta win this.
Somebody
real
clip that, please.
What is Yost talking about?
He's just as old as Brad. What do you?
But for me, it was like the buzzkill thing came as a result of like I hated losing to like knowledge checks, right? I don't mind like there's no way to get me saltier than like knowledge checking the fuck out of me. Like if I lose to myself, that's fine. Like let's say like me and Bunch have like a really sweaty first to 3, he beats me. It's like partially why I don't get salty at the video game, because if I'm playing under pristine conditions, if I got outplayed, I just got outplayed. I just got to go back to the drawing board. It's not gonna like annoy me, right? But let's say like Bunch does some shit that I've never seen before, and I jab punish it, right? And I see Bunch grin from the side of my peripheral. The moment I jab punish something and he's grinning, that means I fucked up already, and now I'm annoyed because that means I didn't come to the drawing board. I mean, I didn't come to the match prepared like he did, and that I feel like is somewhat insulting to him, not to me. It's insulting to him. Like, imagine you're ready to fight and you come and like he's ready to fight you and you come with a broken arm, like that. Like, where's like?
It's a battle of wits and they're unarmed, is what you're saying?
Let me tell you the parallels of me versus Teiga real quick. This man walked around the first time I ever met Teiga, he was walking around with a MacBook, showing people all the Gen setups he had, and I was just like, that is the nerdiest shit I've ever seen in my life. I will never be that kid. Ever. Him right there is the nerdiest shit. I can't wait to beat the shit out of him. And then like everything that I did was just like, I don't know, man. I just gotta feel it. I just gotta feel it. Every setup, I had to experience how to beat it. Like there was no like, oh man, like he did this like crazy thing. I'm gonna go live it at no. I was like, all right, play me again. Play me again. Play me again. Play me again. And like he would beat me 10-2 in like a first to 10, and then I'll come back and be like 10-4. And it was like, don't. All right.
Yeah, no, we're good.
And he would beat me the times that he would beat me, it would be a blowout because I'd be in the process of learning the thing that he already learned. But at the same time, is that he's trying to do this textbook thing, but I'm like, nah, bro, you're not beating me because I got heart, bro. So like I would just smoke him for things that he just did not understand, and I'm like, I don't understand either, bro. So that's your fault. So that's what he's talking about, where it's just like this man's just coming in and pressing jab where he shouldn't press jab, and I'm like, yeah, you're off. Like, so I didn't know you were gonna be off, but here we are.
So then, Teiga, are you a frame data player, or are you still a field player? Just you labbed it out.
Was gonna ask the
So
same.
the last time I played Bunch, you know what he told me?
What did he tell you?
If I let you get control of this matchup, you're just gonna math me to death.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
It's true.
So you're frame data. I get it.
Frame data player.
What was that? That was at Brookland, right?
Yes, Brookland. Street
Yeah,
Fighter
yeah.
V.
Yeah, so like I randomly went to a Brookland tournament and like I'm clearly not playing Street Fighter and I know that he's been playing fighting games. That's all he needs. And I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. I beat him convincingly. I'm like, okay, I'm in grand finals now. Like, all right, let's do this. And then he comes back and it's 6-0 flat. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, yeah, I didn't feel like doing algebra today, so that's
every day for you, though.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I really could have won this tournament if I actually did math, but I guess not. I guess I can't press after Tatsu.
So just as an update, chat, we do have Teiga playing Luke SFH. We're working on getting it on the mainstream, but it is currently game one, round three, excuse me, one round a piece between the two of them.
I hate
But-
this matchup.
Wait, Kunai, if you want to match up against Teiga, you just gotta keep playing. There's no trick
It'll
to
happen
it.
eventually.
Kunai, you gotta get in here, bro.
We
gotta
haven't
get in here.
had any.
Oh, I could have punished that.
Oh, he's getting caned.
Okay.
All right, what's up, chat? I believe we are back now. I believe.
You
Oh yeah, so they're saying they can hear us. Yep. Sorry for the brief downtime. We're just finishing out this set, and then you'll get gameplay footage once again. But Teiga, it looks like up. What is this? Game 3, and he's up around.
No, I think this is game 2. And
Oh,
he's
it's
up
only
around.
game 2. All right.
It's a wash. Please don't spend me there. It's a wash.
Of course, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Bunch out here like, Teiga, don't do it. You have so much to live for.
you all missed a bunch demanding that Teiga do Dragon Lash, and then Dragon Lash won out around like low crushing a crouching medium kick.
And we got to see that white guy jump fierce out of Teiga.
Right. I forgot that's what it's called now.
Okay.
Well, you saw that Ed now has the cross up too.
That's true. They did give him a cross up.
Balrog main's in tears.
I keep wanting to commentate the match and then forgetting that you guys at home don't get to see it. So there's no reason to talk about it. They can't really see anything. So we're just waiting for Teiga to be able to finish this one out. In the meantime, if you are just joining us, this is the Kickback. We are hanging out with Teiga this evening to round out some of the back half. Yes, that does conclude the set. The back half of the Kickback Season 1 here, presented by CasaBunch. And we were talking about feel versus frame data. Before we went in
Radio commentary.
Before we went into radio comms, we were talking about field play versus frame data play.
Yep, and we found out that Teiga is a mathlete, and Bunch was a jock.
I had my fair share of sticking Teiga into a locker. Yeah,
that tracks.
You know, it's my favorite Bunch related memory.
Does it involve a locker?
Oh God,
No, it involves pizza.
I'm ready.
That tracks.
What?
I feel like that's a fairly common memory.
But you don't remember this? All right, so back when me and Bunch used to go to the same stomping grounds, it was back at this place called 8-Bit Dojo.
okay.
Right? And me and Bunch had a money match
Okay.
for a slice of pizza. We don't know why we did a first to 10 for. Actually, no, it's because it's us. We did a first.
I
So we did a
vaguely
first
remember this, but I don't know how.
First to 10 for a slice.
for a single slice. For a-
I don't
for a
remember
single
how it
slice.
turned
For
out,
like
but I
a
remember
50-cent
this.
slice.
So I beat him, right?
Yeah.
I won. I was like, Butts, let's go get my slice. Butts says, no, give me 1 second. And then challenges someone named his name is Jeremy. I just don't remember his tag now. He played someone else and said, yo, money match me for a slice of pizza. Butch then beats
No shot.
Butch beats him in a money match and then tells him, go buy Teiga a slice of pizza. And I'm like,
I'm the best.
He doubled or nothing with a third party?
I'm the best.
That reminds me.
Oh my god.
That reminds me of Evo last year. Capcom had the like party games and stuff. And so Dan Cravat, social media Dan Cravat, walks up to the old Marvel cabs, and this guy's like money matching people for the tickets. And Dan just goes, yeah, all right, I got you. And smokes him 2-0. And the guy's running it, looks at him, he goes like, why did you just do that to him? And Dan goes, don't worry, I'm going to do it.
Body that guy on the Marvel 2 cab right there. He was like, nah, I got him. I was like, nah, you ain't got it.
This was the
He
year we
walked
drove.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
walked up. It was my friend who's been playing Marvel 2 for like 15 years. It was not close. It was not close.
So, chat, we are working on getting the game back, but since we do have a minute, I want everybody to head on over to the Twitch chat because I'm about to put a link in there and I need y'all to smash it, hit the like button, all of that. And by all of that, I mean sign in with a social media account of any kind, click the claim code link and support tonight's Matcherino. There's no reason not to. We got time. We're just chilling here. As you can see here, some of the codes have been claimed, about 15 of them, but that still leaves 35 remaining, and that's quite a lot. There's definitely more than that watching right now, so I think we should be able to get rid of those.
Also, a huge shout out to Hitbox for putting $50 into the pot. I just went ahead and matched them, so we had a cool 100. But if we could please get rid of these Matcherino codes so we can get more money in there. And then, of course, the sponsor quest, hit the sponsor quest and sub to us on
I
YouTube,
forgot you had that.
and we will and 10 cents will be added for every sub through Matcherino. So please hit that button for us. Thank you.
And then if you do want to check out the hardware that Hitbox controls, if you haven't seen it live and in person before, you can go ahead and click the second link I threw up in the link there, hitboxarcade.com/casa. Check it out. I have one myself. It is, I don't know where it is.
Mine is like just under my left shoulder. I have it right there. I've played Leverless for a few years. It's the old, I can't go back.
I promise we're Hitbox users. We just don't play anymore.
So it's funny. My main story when it comes to Leverless is that it was like the only thing that allowed me to actually like understand fighting games. Cause like, you know, I tried starting on like Street Fighter 4. Like I had one of those Mayflash sticks and I had a buddy trying to teach me, it just never clicked. And then like Dragon Ball came out and I tried to do pad because it was what I had. And like I got some of the stuff, but I just B&Bs and like stuff like that, auto mash. But then I found I was able to pick up a hitbox, and then that's like when it finally clicked, coming from like a keyboard gamer, you know, FPS, MOBAs, things like that. Like getting the Leverless was when I was like, oh, it's, you know, WASD. I can't mess that up. It's the same thing. So if you haven't gotten a chance to try one out, definitely at your next local, at your next major, whatever it may be, just ask. Because I guarantee you somebody has one. And so, you know, if you're on the fence, just ask. They'll probably let you borrow it for a game or two, and you'll be able to find out. So
yeah, I think for me it was always, I played string instruments, and it was just like that type of dexterity just translated over. It's like, oh, okay, it's just a riff. Like whatever it is that I'm trying to do is just a riff. So being able to move on with that made things a lot easier for me. Like there were inputs that I just could never do, and now I'm able to hit them on Hitbox, you know, as an extent of that. We've unfortunately, apologies for missing more of those as we are rounding out, getting towards the end of our first hour here of ladder play. Still here with Teiga. Now, Teiga, this is a question I like to ask people. You said you've been playing since like Street Fighter 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite fighting game?
Well, he doesn't remember half of them according to what he said earlier. No.
I kind of have like a.
He'll remember the favorite.
My favorite. So it's a toss up between Cross Tekken.
Okay.
So it's favorites for different reasons. It's hard to pick like a general favorite, but my top three favorites would be Cross Tekken, Grand Blue, and I kind of want to say like the first like 5 months of DNF was really enjoyable for me.
The first 5 months. Okay.
It's crazy that you say that because you were, what was it, a Ghost Warrior? Is that the guy's name? Player? Ghostblade, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Which he wasn't particularly high tier, if I remember correctly.
No. But like, so it kind of ties back to the not the execution thing. So Ghostblade had like some really like complex ass combos. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, this is my shit. Like, and on top of that, Ghostblade kind of reminded me of Virgil. So I'm like, oh.
Yep. That was the main reason you played him over Berserker, right? Was the whole Virgil thing?
Yeah. Like he had a whole ass Virgil mod. They gave him Virgil voice lines. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Now, so are you a fan of Virgil from Marvel 3, or were you like a DMC fan?
I am an overall DMC fan.
Okay.
Like Devil May Cry 3, like Devil May Cry 1, like Devil May Cry 4, like Devil May Cry 5.
Is that the order? Because you said 2 before 5, and that kind of shakes me.
I never said 2.
He did not say 2.
Oh, sorry. You're right. Okay, thank you.
2 sucks.
I know 2 is the bad one.
2.
I'm sorry, you said 4 before 5. My mistake.
So, I'm not super familiar with DMCA. I know that
DMCA is crazy.
He's talking about the anime.
I had
He's
like,
talking
Hey,
about
the anime's
from a
canon
while
now.
ago.
sorry,
Bro
DMC.
said DMCA. That is insane.
I'm not too familiar with DMCA laws either, but that's fine.
This man's
But
about
You
so
need to
there
know
was-
the names of songs to care about DMCA's.
That's
That's
also true. But so there was the Devil May Cry like reboot that had like the young versions,
Oh,
right? Is that
Dante.
anywhere? Is that anywhere on your tier list?
It exists to be more than DMC2 does.
True.
That's I
True,
mean
actually.
that seems like a bare minimum.
The gameplay of that game is fine if you get definitive, but that's like the bottom of the barrel.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta scrape the bottom. Not necessarily go underneath it. Like that. That is sometimes the bar that is all you have to work with.
Yeah, you really gotta trudge through to find some value out of DMC2. I'm not gonna lie.
Jay Defends asks, how do I sneak in the lobby? So this is a ladder format. You can queue up in the ladder as much as you want until we close it at about 8:55. If you get matched up against Teiga, you will end up in the lobby. That's just how it works. We're following along Teiga through the ladder this evening, so whoever he plays ends up on stream. Or you can qualify for top 8, and then, that's another way to end up on stream later on tonight.
Yeah, top
Jay
8
Defense is my video editor.
Oh,
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, hating
so-
ass motherfucker.
So should we let him in so he can get live feed? Is that what you're saying?
Oh God.
Are we
Well,
giving him
many ideas.
special privilege?
Sure.
Are you asking if there's a secret back channel between his editor and our live feed?
Well, if he wanted to get like live game footage at a higher quality than the stream rip, I mean, unless Teiga records locally, I guess, which is a possibility.
He literally just rips the stream off and uses it for
Yeah.
whatever video. I would not be like. One time I was just casually talking about what it's like to work in IT, and he made a whole ass video about it. I'm like, when the fuck did you do this? And he'll just tell me he got bored.
I'm gonna be honest. That's probably one of my more enjoyable Twitter threads that I read sometimes. Are your IT rants? Because those just make me laugh. Because they're so true.
I have to let the world know that like my hatred runs strong.
People just don't get it. That's really what it is. Like they're competent at a technology, and so they don't understand the non-competence and how they interact with technology.
Like
It's
I just be laughing because like y'all are surgeons, but you tell me you can't tell when to take the computer, like to turn the computer on.
Wait, please don't tell me it's that bad. Like I let surgeons operate on me. Don't tell me that they don't know how to check their email.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah,
If you don't know how to
Brad,
check your email, you do not get to use a scalpel on me.
that's the thing. Like they go to school not to learn computers, Brad. They only know cut.
They gotta learn paste.
Not necessarily. They could only take stuff out of you, not necessarily put it back in.
But they need to
also true.
close it.
All right, so if you really want so I have like 3 jokes that I usually tell people when people like ask me like what is it like working IT? I have the same 3 jokes that I tell everyone, right? The first one is I once got asked, how did it go? Oh, I once got asked why does a Windows PC have a MAC address?
Oh God, that hurts.
Yeah.
So I do.
There's just enough critical thinking there that it's like, oh, you tried your hardest.
Yeah, like MAC addresses probably don't matter to like 98% of computer users, but like if your only understanding of computers is the PC versus Mac commercial, yeah, I can see where the confusion comes in.
The second one was I traveled an hour and a half via public transportation just to give Bunch context, from Long Island to Kew Gardens, which is a part of Queens, to turn on someone's monitor because they said I broke their computer. And then the third one, which Jay Defense made a video of, is I was at work. There were 3 printers that were down. I work in Times Square. Why are there 3 printers down? Every corresponding tech that I spoke to about this, whether it was like my manager, my boss's boss, or my boss's boss's boss, we all had the same question. Why are there 3 printers down? I'm like, I don't know. They just waited to tell us those 3 printers down. And then from there, enter the shit show of waiting for a Xerox tech to come 10 minutes to fix 3 printers and somehow taking 96 hours to fix 3 printers.
Printers aren't really technology, they're witchcraft.
I'm like, okay.
Printers are gotcha games and live service models. They're the same degree of badness.
Okay.
I am astounded. I am astounded that a piece of technology has seemingly only progressed in negative directions.
So to tangentially go off of the printer thing, so I work for the government, and
I have this guy blacklisted. Why do I have you blacklisted?
Oh no!
Why do I have you blacklisted?
Oh my god!
That's
not good.
Uh-oh.
All right, we need a side bet of like, all right, is he blacklisted because he's ass? Is he blacklisted for BM? Is he blacklisted?
Is it a
because
Wi-Fi
his
player?
connection sucks, right?
Oh man. But
Don't play Wi-Fi kids. Yo, what the hell?
well, Wi-Fi is actually banned. So if you're trying to enter the tournament with Wi-Fi, we're gonna DQ you and not let you play.
Yes.
Can someone invite him? I haven't.
Wait, you literally can't?
Dom, I
because-
just sent you the code.
Yeah, it looks like we're working on getting them in. But so we print stuff at the government because we're working with 80s technology still. Every single printer on the wall behind it has do you know those missing posters where they had the tear offs on it? Every single printer in the entire building has one of those behind it, and it says, if the printer's broken, if the printer's not working, do not touch. Contact your manager and give them a slip. And you're supposed to tear a slip off with the phone number to IT and give it to your manager so that the manager can then contact IT on your behalf to tell IT that the printer's not working.
I wish I am blacklisted him, so he should be able to sit down now. But listen, even now, I'm just like, yo, you can have me fix your computer, you can have me fix your monitors, you can have me do a lot. I ain't touching no goddamn printer. you have me all the way fucked up. Even though I'm certified and I can possibly fix the printer, I'm still not fixing no printer.
Well, what's baffling to me is people will get a paper jam and it'll say on the screen paper jam in section whatever, and they'll just walk away. They'll just go do the same thing to a different printer and be like, oh well, tough, I guess. And I'm like, you just take the paper out. It's not hard. But what is hard is this Geef fit. Look at him, all decked out. He's got the chains hanging. Let's see if Teiga can bring him down a notch. No, don't pause me. It's a fit check.
Pause. It is a good alt.
He's got the pinstripes on it too. He's. Also, what are those? Are wingtips, right? Is that what they are?
I think so.
Good whip punish.
I don't know anything about formal shoes.
It's crazy how they gave Geef this cool ass costume, and I got this shit.
Not a fan of Ryu 3, huh?
I just want the towel off his head. Just give me the towel off my head.
I just want him to have sneakers.
Yeah, but then you'd deprive all the people of that certain demographic of their Ryu toes.
I don't even care about just take the towel off his head. All right.
Are you dead? Oh my god.
Oh damn.
Geef damage still kind of surprises me.
This matchup for Ryu.
Really?
Yeah, I actually think Ryu loses this matchup.
Is it do you just not feel like you can compete in the mid range enough, or what is it?
So for me, I feel like Ryu. Someone fouled. 1 second.
Oh.
Good end here. No let up 29. Thank you for the follow. So it's kind of I have this idea that Ryu is a zoner. So the only people that give Ryu trouble are people that don't allow him to zone, or people. Well, they don't allow him to zone for one of two reasons. They're either like really, like, oh, get away.
I'm immediately feeling inspired. We need a supercut of like people trying to answer questions while playing tense sets.
Yeah, so it's kind of just like I can punish that still.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
I mean, one thing, it looks like the Geef Stand Fierce is a real big problem for you because you're using Donkey Kick a lot as like a mid-range poke, and he can just kind of armor through you at that range with his, primary poke.
And his stand medium punch is really good against me throwing fireballs. Like, he doesn't let me play at the ranges that I would like to be playing at.
That actually makes sense. Oh my god. I thought that was going to go way worse for Teiga. And then he just came swinging down with the fist. Has to spend the cash, though. But you know what?
Yeah,
it's just level 1.
I think you still had 5 on the brain. I feel like that situation works out differently when that's V-Trigger instead of his super in this one now.
True. I don't know if you saw it, Brad, but there was a thread on Reddit the other day of a supercut of people getting hit by the Tundra move of Geef. What is it? The kick counter from 5.
Oh yeah,
but it was in 6.
Very rarely was used.
Yeah, well, as far as I'm aware, it can now hit low normals in this game, not just kicks. So like, it has more versatility, and it was just like a 3-minute long supercut of just people like getting mixed by it, like them using it as like a meaty option, or like waiting for like a safe jump into low come out, and then they just get spun up.
Huh.
That overhead's getting so much mileage.
Yeah, I mean, Ryu's overhead is not bad out of DR. There's spots where you genuinely just kind of have to deal with the coin flip.
All right, so that's 1 game apiece. So, Teiga, looking at, we talked about the current cast and like how there's nothing really outside of Ryu that's, wetting your whistle. Taking a look at, say, the Ed trailer, and then knowing that Akuma is coming hopefully within 6 months after that, eyes on either of those, or are you just sticking with Ryu?
Akuma.
Okay.
Give me Akuma.
Just frame one. Yeah, no, I'm done with this character. Give me the better Shoto.
What is it about Akuma? Is it just because he has all those tools and he's more mix-centric, or?
Legacy.
Also, barring we haven't seen him in game, the quote unquote leaked costume art for him is just top tier. Like, he definitely had one of the best starting costumes from that leak.
Yeah, it kind of like gave me like flashbacks to his alternate 1 costume. The one where he had like the white hair, the brown pants.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool. I kind of like the vision here. So, listen,
well, you were just saying you gravitate to like the old mastery kind of vibe, and that definitely is the direction they're going with both Ryu and Akuma.
Yeah, so I'm just like, yeah, let me get my hands on Akuma. Like, ideally, I want to like juggle both Grand Blue and Street Fighter 6 as like the 2 main games I'm playing, but it seems rather pointless to like invest so much time into Street Fighter 6 and knowing that there is a mental disconnect for me, I guess.
Okay.
Until that character comes out.
Yeah, like I it's partially the reason why I don't stream it as often. Like, I don't want to badmouth the game. I like the game. I just don't like the character that I'm playing in the game, and it doesn't feel like. I feel like if I'm streaming, I want to like have fun with what I'm doing. That's why I'm streaming. Like, I don't like. I know there are other streamers who play and like it's their thing to like get mad at the game, get mad at who they're fighting. I never want to be in that mindset. So for me, I want to have fun with what I'm doing, right? Because we're playing a video game. Why would I want to? If I'm playing a game leisurely, why would I want to be stressed out doing so?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So for me, it's just like, all right, I don't want to bet like Rising and Relink are kind of filling like the hole for me right now that I can't enjoy with Street Fighter 6. Like Ryu's not good, and I can play Ken, but Ken doesn't like. Ken isn't my.
No, you can't.
He does Ken things, right? Like it's you know what he's gonna do every
That was
game.
crazy.
There's not as much character expression. Like it makes total sense that would be how you feel.
Yeah.
So what about Grand Blue Fall Guys?
Oh, that should be lit. I'm waiting for.
Oh,
I
forgot about that.
I'm just waiting for them to add. This is not his Capcom ID.
Who is it?
Hyperu. I'm gonna just try that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that worked.
I love when a plan comes together.
Grand Blue Fall Guys is mad fun. I'm just waiting for them to like. I'm waiting for the update where they obviously patch in custom rooms.
Oh yeah, like it has to come through eventually. Fall Guys is still a huge game, and with the Grand Blue IP behind it, like I could totally see us running a one-off, Grand Blue beat 'em up, tournament for a charity or something.
Like, even now, like, it's kind of like with Relink too. Like, okay, I like RPGs. Like, I kind of try to like bar myself from playing RPGs because I tend to get like really like RPGs and fighting game have like the same feeling for me.
Okay.
Where in the sense that like I can just keep playing and just like scratch an itch because I get to continuously grind. All right, so
It's that same dopamine.
yeah.
What is your favorite RPG then?
So for like nostalgia's sake, it's Birth by Sleep. Like the amount of hours
of all the Kingdom Hearts games, for that to be the one that you would pick is, let alone the fact that that's your favorite one altogether. But even of the Kingdom Hearts series, that's interesting.
like you have no idea like how much unhealthy hours I grinded into that game. Like as a high school student, like I was playing that game on my PSP. I was playing it on the bus to school, on the train back home. Like I'm calling it my favorite based off of just like how much hours I invested into it.
Okay, like that's a metric, I suppose.
But like
So-
if I had to, that VP whiff. Like if it's not Birth by Sleep, it'd probably be two. Like there were aspects of two. Oh, you didn't actually reset there. Crazy. Up.
Oh wow, that was some good bait. So you're saying KH2, Kingdom Hearts 2, right?
Oh my God.
Oh, my man is focused.
It's like I can't lose to a Lily player.
No, I don't care about no fucking character. If you outplay me, you outplay me. That's what it is. It is what it is.
I was more gonna say his brain can only handle RPGs or fighting games. He already said that, so we're on fighting game thread right now.
All right, that should be death.
While we play some catch up as we round out the rest of it. Oh, that is a bunch of damage. Yeah, it's gonna be the next touch, right?
It's gotta be. I'm thinking cancel into DP, or not DP, super. Wait,
Okay.
the wrong player died. That's not what I
think
thought.
you and I both anticipated that it was Teiga.
Unless
but
we're
yes,
just super behind.
we might be. I don't know. The spectator lobby is a bit back today. I thought that might have been the end of the set too. I was about to bring us back to the Kingdom Hearts
Yeah,
conversation.
y'all are behind by like about 45 to a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely part of the having the non-fast forward on, which is an acceptable trade-off in my opinion, because we get to actually see the whole set versus, a random amount of it just fast forwarded through. So, I mean,
Wow,
shout out to
that's so
Capcom for adding that setting, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, I think if you're trying to go for like a spectator experience, it's definitely better. If you're vibing in sets with friends and you want to be able to chit chat, maybe you pick the other way. But having the option is always good. Lockdown in the corner right now, and the command grab is going to put Iperu on set point.
Yeah, I do believe the score is 1-1. So Teiga does still have an opportunity to bring this back, but the Lily Iperu is actually putting in some really good work here, getting really successful on these jump-ins.
Oh, I thought that would have been a corpse hop, but I don't know. Either a little bit too far away or maybe just not committing to the right one. No, great timing to jump in there for Iperu. No super. Really want to take it a block. It's not going to happen.
No super and no wind install, which they are prioritizing the Oki, which, has been one of the big complaints of Lily since the character really got kind of thought about, is that you have to sacrifice so much just to get these wind stocks. Why not just go for meaties?
Yeah, I think she can feel a little bit one-dimensional in that respect, where it's like
End it.
Oh, did he say end it? Is that what he said?
No, I think he said I'm dick.
No, I said I'm spending it.
Oh,
wow. The worst game of telephone. Shout outs to Discord.
that was... So what's funny, though, is Tom was the last one to speak up, but he actually was the closest.
Alright, I fat fingered. Gotta love that.
So Teiga gonna spend the cash, get out of this round two, excuse me, take us to a round 3. Bunch said if I don't watch the stream, I'm not allowed back into the US. Yeah, I mean, many people don't know this, but Bunch does have the capability to bar people at the border.
GG's.
All right, now that we have Teiga back, so I want to go off the thread of like you saying that you allow yourself, certain time with RPGs. That kind of leads me to believe you were never really an MMO RPG player, or you were so much so of an MMO RPG player that you had to like quick cold turkey it.
All right, so back in high school, I played 3 RPGs religiously.
Okay.
Okay.
Latale, L Sword, and what's this third one? Oh my god, I can't remember the third one. I just remember Latale and L Sword. And I only remember L Sword because every time I see Lord Knight, I keep thinking that Lord Knight was an L Sword player, and that's where he got his name from. Apparently it's not. And Latale was it Rumble Fighter? I don't think was it Rumble Fighter? Nevertheless, like I went through like 4 years of patches. I was active in the community. I was like posting on their Facebook pages. I was recording. Like I was doing everything but streaming the game.
That's so funny.
Like I was in a guild. I went through the entire process. I don't know how this happened, that I ended up becoming the guild leader of 3 separate guilds in a single video game, despite the fact that all the names, well, actually, no, none of the names actually were related, but like all the names were just like, okay, it was like Black Teiga, White Ryokoha, and then like I was going through it. I was down horrendous. Like if you gave me an RPG, I was probably sniffing like coke at this point, because I'm just like, yo, I can't. Like it was really bad, like really bad.
You know what? High school is the time to do that, though.
I don't know any of these games either. I was like, I know RPGs. Let me ask him about some RPGs. If we're talking about RPGs, it's like, what the hell is this?
I started this whole train of thinking, and I thought Teiga was just gonna say like they're a Final Fantasy 14 player, because I played 14.
Okay.
Me and Jay Defense played 14, and we that was a really bad time. That was a really bad time. Like
because you got too into it, or
sleep loss, money loss. Yo.
Mm-hmm. What class did you play?
Dragoon. Like
Dragoon. Okay.
Like we were just.
It ruined my life. I'll do it again.
Like me and Josh just looked at each other like, so we're in I think it would have what happened. Oh, we were in postgraduate depression, so neither of us had a job, and we were just like, yo,
spending $15 a month on this sub.
like, yo, is it still worth it to be doing this? And he's like, nah. And then at the time, we were still playing Destiny. We were still raiding. We just
Oh
like,
my
yo.
god.
I'm like, yo.
So this would have been Destiny 2 then, right?
Yes.
Timeline wise, yeah.
Yes. Destiny 1 came out. We were cracking over that too. Like, Destiny 2 came out, and then we're playing 14, and like, what would just randomly happen is like, oh, we were playing Monster Hunter World. I'm like, yo, this is this is like really, really bad. Like really, really bad.
You're like, I need a job.
Like
to take a break from my jobs.
We would see some random drop happen, and we would just like, yo, we would just look at each other. It's like, so 8 p.m. And you're like 8 p.m. I'm like, all right, I'll see you then. We would, and this is like while we were, like at some point it happened, like we were playing RPGs while we were in college too. So we would just hear some random drop that would happen. I think the last drop that we just randomly grinded was like a Rathalos for 14, a Rathalos mount. And we would just look at each other like, so tonight? And he'd be like, yeah. Like we didn't say much words. It was just like, yeah, just we know what the deal was. Just
the you up text at 10:30 p.m. and it's just Final Fantasy 14.
Oh no, it got worse. Like I think like active, like even though Destiny is a shooter, in my head it was an RPG.
Well, it is.
Yeah, like
RPG light.
Yes and no.
I got a you up text at 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, I'm already on Destiny. Just get on.
I'm already here.
What's your favorite Destiny season?
One. We're talking 1 or 2.
Include one. I didn't play one, but include one.
So my favorite. So I think like if we're doing it by raid, my favorite Destiny season was. Okay, I know my answer now. My favorite Destiny season is Destiny 1 during the Vaults of Glass era. Because
that's like, isn't that the first one?
Yes,
no,
it is the last one. No, it's the first one, and here's why.
Okay,
so Vaults of Glass was like when we first started seeing like exotics fleshed out, because we were like all curious, like, yo, what does an exotic do? What does an exotic do? And then we started seeing the bullshit timing that exotics came on. They had Iceburner that was like an infinite rifle that had no clip that you never needed to reload. You had like Gallahorn. Gallahorn itself is the entire. Broken. But you see, it's not as broken.
True.
Right. It was a different beast then.
Yes. So let me tell you something, right? I have never seen a game, like I've been playing like games that have been passed for quite some time. I have never seen a game where the developers primarily addressed just one thing and just kept going. Like imagine we're playing Street Fighter 6, the season 2 patch hits, and all they do is just they change JP. They leave Luke the same, they leave Ken the same. That's what they did to Gallahorn.
Yeah.
The dev note said, and I quote, the game was becoming toxic because if you didn't have a Gallahorn back then, you were getting kicked out the party. Like your DPS was completely your DPS completely ran relative to how good was your Gallahorn. And if you did not have a Gallahorn, you were getting kicked from any party. And the thing that makes it so magical is the first week Destiny dropped, they sold the Gallahorn. Like Xur sold the Gallahorn the first week of Destiny 1 and never sold it again. And if you didn't have it that first day, tough luck.
GG's. See you next season.
It didn't matter if you had Vision of Confluence. It didn't matter if you didn't hear this. No, it was the first week. It was the first week. It was just so funny.
What is it about grind-heavy games that is what's gravitating you towards them? Because you're talking about fighting games and RPGs, and you highlighted that you're like, I can grind in both of them. Why is that grind something that you respond to?
I don't. I think it's just like the idea of like I don't want to. I like playing games that are like technically infinite, like infinite in the sense that like I don't have to stop playing. Like, okay, let's say like, and I don't have to like wait for a DLC, right? And by the time I do have to wait for a DLC, I would have already fleshed out all that I need to flesh out, and I'll be satisfied by then. So like, oh, good reaction. So like Relink, for example, right? I'm playing it, I'm having fun, right? It's all good in the hood. Oh, you're dead. Like it's like I can continuously play it. I don't have to wait for someone. Which is kind of why I like pull away from shooters, because like I used to be a COD person. I mentioned I played Destiny. One of the partial reasons I stopped playing Destiny was just because I didn't like the idea that like I have to wait for people. Like I like to be able to like just boot up the game on my own time and say, you know what, I want to play, and just be able to like do the content. So
okay, I get what you mean. Is like I might be free for 15 minutes. I might be cracking out for 4 hours, but like I want this to fill that time.
Yes, like even Destiny, like the fun content requires you to get 6 people. Like you like getting 6 people to.
Yeah, it's not possible.
It's wild too, because until this year, the like stance from the company was like, just join an LFG Discord. GG's.
Like, good luck. Like, and it's ironic coming from a fighter where like vanilla Granblue was definitely like a quote unquote Discord fighter, but that's partially the reason I stopped playing that shit too, because I just want to play. Like, why is Old Man Duncan? Thank you for the. Why am I sweeping so much? Thank you for the tier 1. Oh, that's kind of bad because you put yourself in the corner.
So we're talking about games that you can grind and throw yourself into at a whim's notice. And I'm getting a message from chat. Have you heard of Helldivers 2?
My good friend Rushdown talked to me about it, but I've been on Relink the entire. Like since Relink has dropped, I have stopped. Yo. Let me say something. This is like the second time I've streamed a fighting game since Relink has dropped. Okay. And the first was yesterday, because I just had to let people like, hey guys, I'm alive. I don't know what y'all thinking, but like I'm alive. I'm well. I've been out the country. I've been out the state for like 3 weekends consecutively, but I'm still here. I'm alive. But like it's really hard to be like, I want to stream like Rising, or I want to stream Street Fighter 6. And I'm like, but Relink is just really fucking appealing right now.
It's just right there.
Yeah.
What's your Relink team right now?
Lancelot, Percival, Cagliostro, Gran, or Siegfried.
Valid as hell. I'm not too surprised that you got the what's it, the Knights in there, but yeah, super valid. I fuck with that. I still need to buy it.
I've been, yo. I think I have like less than 24 hours in on the game, which is the funny thing, because technically, since I left the state a couple times, starting from Frosty's, I've only been home like 7 days out of like the last 21.
So you just haven't had the chance.
If I had the chance, I'd probably be streaming Rising or Relink. I mean, Rising or I'd probably be streaming Rising right now. I don't think I'm going to like. It's hard to say, but I feel like I'm not going to stream a fighting game until I reach a point of complacency in Relink first. If that makes sense. Like until I complete all the quests, I have all the gear that I need. I'm like raid ready, which comes out in like March, I think, and then I will start to stream fighting games again.
So I was gonna say, do you find in general that you end up, sort of, I'm gonna use the word hyperfixating on like a game, and it's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna dive headfirst, into this.
Yeah, I kind of do hyperfixate. Like, I think that's like just like a childhood thing because I used to play chess. So, yeah. So
chess is. I was wondering about chess earlier because you're talking about it. There's another great example of a game that it's like people have been playing chess for like a thousand years or some shit, right?
Yeah. So before I entered the FGC, I was a competitive chess player. I played for like 10 years or so, and then I didn't want to pay money to renew my membership, so I said, let me go play a fighting game.
So
And now we have seasonal DLC.
true, but so it's interesting because I'm thinking about it, and so I'm like, you're playing these games because they're quote unquote infinitely repeatable type situation. But so in RPGs, there is always a limit, right? Like there is a finite amount of, leveling up you can do that actually matters. In say fighting games, it's just infinite. Like there will always be somebody better than you. There will always be some interaction that hasn't been labbed yet. Like that's just.
Oh, this bitch got his wish.
Oh, okay. But
What?
then that was my question originally, was like, oh, RPGs have a finite amount of infinity, whereas fighting games are truly infinite. Then you bring up chess, and I'm like, chess is literally solved for the people that like are at that level. Like there's no infinity level of chess. So that's really interesting to me that like that's where it all began, I guess.
I remember now. This motherfucker. Oh wait, they gave me his music.
Don't know wall.
Yeah. No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I was trying to invite this whole ass motherfucker to the lobby, but he don't.
Which one?
He don't. Oh, you'll know. You'll know. He'll be here. He'll be here.
What was your elo in chess when you stopped playing?
Offline, my rating was around 1600.
Okay.
That's somewhat close to like Grandmaster, right? Or is Grandmaster 2100?
Grandmaster, isn't that 2800?
Grandmaster is 2000. Well, National Master is 2000. Grandmaster can like go a little bit higher than that, but I had like theoretically speaking, I had all the like building, like all like access to the resources to become a master. I just
didn't want to pay for the membership.
Yeah, like my chess teacher's son is a master. His two daughters, master.
Okay.
The middle school that I went to, the wife's, I mean not the wife, the principal's husband is a grandmaster. I'm like,
oh, okay. So you had that.
I had
From a pedigree.
It's like learning fighting games in NYC.
like
You had your own Chinatown fair of chess.
yeah. I'm gonna shut up now because I'm playing Kunai and I kind of don't want to lose to him.
Yeah,
That's
that
fair
tracks.
enough. We can switch gears to commentating. Trying to
Do
play
you
a
know
little bit of
chess, Brad?
spacing. Do I know? I've been playing chess a fair bit recently, actually.
Oh, that's right. I remember last year you were saying that was like your daily affirmation was to play some chess.
Well, so I was doing puzzles at the time. I'm actually playing games. It took me a year to work up to the point of like being willing to actually play against a human being.
Oh god, what are we not hearing the end of? Kids at school love chess.com. Yeah, I mean kids are weird, Dan. But no, did you not see Dan's tweet this morning, Brad? About what the kids at his school
the
did?
Duolingo theme?
Duolingo?
You know what? When this goes up on YouTube now, I feel like we need to superimpose the tweet over it, which is an additional step of editing that whoever uploads it would have to do, but it would make it better. It would make the viewing experience better on rewatch.
If not, you can always head on over to twitter.com/dcravat. I believe is his at. I could be wrong. Somebody just threw a water bottle at me. It's like like when they throw the flashbang through the door, except the water bottle.
Corner pressure for Teiga here. How far are we going to spin the bar? Level 3, right? Yeah. Unfortunate to have to spend it, but even up the rounds. Teiga, and again, like don't answer if you can't. If you do want to weigh in, feel free. But you were talking earlier about having difficulty in matchups where you feel like you can't zone effectively. So I have to imagine that this is another one of those where it's like, damn, she's just so good at subverting my fireball game.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it with other players, right? Like, I mean, you think to Kaba, where this is the matchup choice because it just almost essentially invalidates the fireball game to a certain degree. But level 3, let it rip early on from White Kunai, just wants to get that early life lead. Plus, the burnout is so crucial against Cammy. Early stun. I'm wondering if we could have gotten more before it actually came out.
nah, you know what? This is such a strong lead. You're going to be able to keep this pressure going. I mean, the whiff punish is probably going to be all it takes. But if it wasn't just for the whiff punish, right? As it resets back to neutral and starts to slow down, you get that drive gauge back. You have to make a fair few mistakes before you're going to get smoked out that hard by Ryu. And Ryu is a character who does have a fair bit of damage when he gets the right hit. It's just not trivial to get there, especially when you are in a position where you can't take risks. One game up here for Wet Kunai.
Starting back from scratch, and we've heard a couple things from Teiga while he's been playing tonight. Like, he's noticing as the game goes on, like, his tendencies that he's maybe executing too much, right? Like last game it was, oh man, why am I sweeping so much? We brought up earlier the donkey kicks. He's like, yeah, why am I doing that so much? So it's nice to hear that he's already articulating like the things that he might need to watch.
Yeah, and he is definitely muted, so I had wondered, I'm like, oh, he's really, like, I'm impressed at how effectively he's ignoring us. Like, he can't hear us at all. Oh no, dive kick next for Kunai. But yeah, I'm curious, like, I love asking players who have that habit, like, how they happened upon it, because I feel like it's not trivial to get to that place as a new player.
I think it, in some part, comes along with being a streamer, right? Like, I think we heard that from... I think Marine brought it up in the first week, and I believe one of our other streamers, I think it was maybe Jack last week, where they're like, I'm already on stream, I'm already having to, interact with people. I might as well turn my internal monologue exterior just to fill the air to a certain point. And then I know that you've had the conversation before where it's like, me talking it out helps the thought process kind of evolve to the next step.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what? Actually, interestingly enough, Teiga's in a tech industry. It's like, we'll call that, you need to be my rubber duck. It's like, well, you just have to talk to something. That's a common expression if in like technical circles and technical professions, where it's like sometimes you just literally just need to talk to something, and halfway through you're gonna have that revelation.
I actually hate that revelation. I hate it so much because I'll start asking a question and then it'll click in my brain and I'm like, why did I even bother asking the question? I knew the answer the whole time. And it's like, because you just have to. Like, you have to verbalize things. So.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it will literally force it to different parts of your brain if you have to try to say it aloud and vocalize it. That's actually an exercise that musicians will do where they call it, I think they call it, vocalizing, where it's like you have to sing what you're playing as you play it while you're improvising. And it's all about translating that muscle memory of, this is what I want to sound, and I need to think about how to get there. And as a player, it's the same exercise of like, if I am able to say aloud, it's just engaging different parts of my brain.
I really liked that air-to-air from Teiga there, where, kind of got the read on the dive kick and went up and met it at the peak. But yeah, I mean, to the point.
Oh man!
That's bad. You're dead. So that'll tie us up here, because unless Teiga drops it, you're super dead. But yeah, I mean, the whole mental verbalization, vocalization thing, it's got to be some crazy right brain, left brain interaction that many people way smarter than me can. There's probably a paper about it published somewhere. So, tied up, one apiece here. Teiga versus Wet Kunai.
Yeah, and we had said before getting into this, Teiga was like, he got his wish. Like, apparently these two were, or Wet Kunai had come through the chat and, wanted for this match to happen specifically. Teiga's on the back foot here. Spin knuckle is still a problem. Trying to navigate around that air. It's like Cammy just has, by way of the spin knuckle and the dive kick, there's just enough more movement that, it's really easy to stop Ryu from being able to effectively zone, because you're only going to be right 25% of the time rather than 50 now.
So, real quick, I'm trying to take a look at the standings to see how important this match is. And it seems like it doesn't actually matter for Teiga, because he's not even on the first page of players tonight.
Why are you gonna just because he's deafened and muted, you're gonna disrespect him like that?
But It does matter a fair bit for Wet Kunai, the outcome of this. Currently sitting in 9th place with a 6-3 record. Him going to 7-3 would put him in a much better position to clinch this top 8, whereas the 6-4 would probably just pull him out of contention for the most part, unless he can just smash through the next 20 minutes of games.
I would have to bring up some 40% flash kick kind of energy. Spin knuckle going through that fireball is a strong start for Wet Kunai. Able to commit that bar, has this corner control. This is a great position. Teiga gets thrown a second time. Rule of threes. What's it gonna be? I love when the throw comes third too.
Oh, the backdash!
Do it until he dies.
I mean, he got the backdash, was successful, but then let it go right afterwards, and so that is going to be a perfect KO to close it out here for Wet Kunai, taking it 2-1 over Teiga.
I'm just waiting for him to undeafen so that he can start to hear us, because I want to talk as though we're being mad disrespectful.
There it is.
But he's just refusing to undeafen.
Well, he's probably talking to chat, you know, doing the streamery thing.
Oh, that's true, right? Yeah, he is simul streaming.
Yep, he is live over on his Twitch channel as well, Chad. So if you want to go send him some love, go feel free to do that. So J defends, they can ruin each other's nights. I mean, again, Teiga, you know, is in a certain standing that may or may not have mattered to the outcome. But unless you mean that, you know, Wet Kunai could ruin Teiga's night. But what's up, Teiga? Welcome back.
So, no, don't worry. I'm expecting to run it back into sooner or later.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I mean that was a pretty solid match. You know, took it the distance for the most part. Game 3 on board. But yeah, I mean, real quick, taking a look at the standings here, Chad. We do have, you know, the very common returnees. We got Noah the Prodigy, Knuckledew, JB, all in the top 3 of the ladder currently. Zaffarino's, you know, vying for a spot. Joe Uma Rogan trying for a spot. 801 Strider's in here as well. Somebody named Greasy Feet. Yeah, I don't know. Where's my boy Bible Black? Why doesn't he play Street Fighter 6?
Dude.
Oh, you mean Black? I haven't heard that name in a while.
Oh, right. Okay. I forgot for a second that was in that game.
Yes, he went by Bible Black because he was a Crusader player.
Pretty solid at the game as well.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You don't remember who Crusader is?
No, I do. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not make the character to name association until you just said it now.
But chat does make a good point. We have 28 Matcherino codes remaining. So guys, get the codes used up. Tom went by and threw the link in there at you. Super easy. All you got to do, click the link. You can log in with a social media account of basically any kind. Bare minimum, I know every single buddy in this chat has a Twitch account or a Gmail account. Either one works out, and you just log into it. I'm getting extra buttons for some reason, but then you just click claim code. That easy. We just got a couple there, and we do want to give a shout out to Hitbox because they were generous enough to support the show tonight, putting money directly into the Matcherino to support the players. So shout outs to them. They've done some wonderful work in the community. They've done a great job at helping us out here today. So if you want to be like Hitbox, support the Matcherino.
If you want to have a Hitbox, you can get your own. Obviously, Triclops.
Baby, thank you for the 15 party raid. I'm playing Street Fighter right now. About to play. Oh god. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
So Marissa, definitely a character that has ruined some people's day.
But I mean, so Teiga, you said stylistically you're a player that likes to figure out situations. I imagine Marissa was a character that you went to the lab real quick of like, what am I supposed to do in these spots?
Yep.
Is there anything that you feel like? Well, I mean, one question that, but I wonder, is there anything that you feel like people are like really not understing how to play against?
Oh god.
Off for you. Wait, can you ask that
for you.
You'll see why. The Lila FTC might be able to follow.
Yeah, I mean, this is a
waiting for.
character that, really kind of just face-checked people for a long time. Seen as the noob crusher, things like that. I feel like it died down a little bit, and then Angry Bird
Oh my
won.
god.
Oh, that's
messed
unfortunate.
up.
Oh, do
Yeah,
you
but
die
for
now
you.
because of it?
He's not going to get level 3. The next touch might. Yeah, that's a good spot to wake up DP.
No DP?
That was like so dismantling to watch. Nice pick up with the low forward.
Ah, Pipaka.
Yeah, I heard her walk in, and then I discovered her knocking my microphone away from me.
I heard the jingle.
Oh, you could hear it through the microphone? Jeez.
On my end, anyway. I don't know if stream heard it, but like when
You're
she
a
hopped
loud
up,
cat.
when it hopped up, it came through. But Marissa doing Marissa things to Teiga's face right now.
Yeah, Teiga doesn't like this.
Teiga's not a fan of the Dami Mommy.
No. Level 3?
What are your thoughts on Lady Domesticu?
She's a cool reference. She's a cool reference to Japanese folklore.
You know what?
Which she
That
is?
that is
I didn't
a,
know that.
That is a solid take. That is.
What is it called? Hyakushu Shama? The tall white woman that's like 8 feet tall? Yeah, she's a reference to that.
Yeah. I did not know that. I was like, I would just figured it was, yeah, she's a goth vampire character who is also big.
Nope. It just so happens that she conveniently wears white. Happens to be 8 feet tall. And where's a white robe?
That is
Hi.
a very solid piece of information, chat. And if you thought you knew that, you didn't. And Teiga just learned all of you.
Are you a Resident Evil fan as well, or is that not RPG enough?
Hold on.
Or was that just the only piece of tidbit information you had?
Oh man, okay, I hear what the hold up was for.
Okay. I'm not like Lord. Well, I'm not like I'm not. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know everything about the lore per se, but
Okay.
But you did happen to know that piece.
I watched like Resident Evil 4. I played Resident Evil 5. I didn't watch 6. I saw when I played, I think 7 and 8. Yeah, 8 is the last one, right?
The last new one that wasn't a remake, yeah.
Yeah. I usually watch when I play.
Holy.
Okay. Strong start.
Really just
bring
doing it to
out
him.
this run. Well, and also like hearing Teiga, like you can hear how focused he is, and he's trying to answer us. I'm like, all right, switch back over to commentary. Let this man play the game. Jump out.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, you're far enough away there. That's good to know that, you know, her go-to counter poke doesn't really work after block donkey kick. Oh, good little spacing trap with that information too.
Yeah, when I usually streams Resident Evil, and I just usually watch, so that's how I like stay up to date on the lore.
Yeah, as a admitted coward, I can't play those games either. I have to view them as a spectator sport.
I think once you realize that, like, literally nothing happens without you engaging with it, it makes it less scary.
See, it's not so much that, it's the jump scare aspect of it. So even though I know it's coming, just the visceral reaction is what gets me. But I also have this weird thing where it's like,
again.
if it's like imagined horror, like zombies and, you know, those types of, not zombies per se, because zombies are slow, but like fake horror. That stuff scares me more than like Michael Myers level horror, where I'm just like, it's just some dude with a knife. Like, it just happens. Just walk away. but like some demon ghost thing coming through the wall and just like murking you, I'm like, oh no, that's gonna happen. That's terrifying.
Damn, that reminds me, I gotta play Remnant 2 again.
Teiga,
Yo.
all the years that you've been playing, like, if you had to say someone who was your bracket demon, who would it be?
That's hard. I don't think I have any bracket demons.
You have
Mostly
no
these-
bracket demons.
Should probably exercise them all by this point.
I think it's me.
So
Just a stream production guy.
I had a bracket demon in Grand Blue, but I beat him to win ECT, and then now we're playing Rising, and he doesn't like Rising, so it's just like, all right, not kind of lost the only person that I considered a bracket demon.
You hear that, Lennox? Step up. Stop being a bitch.
If I was to do it by like game in Street Fighter 4, my bracket demon would probably have been Coach Steve.
Okay.
Street Fighter 5, my bracket demon was, for season 1, anyone who played Nikali, and then season 2 onward,
Okay.
not really anyone. Maybe Idom.
Well, so when did you really have a like falling out with Street Fighter 5, right? Because like you said in season 1, obviously Ryu hit like a brick, but then he got kneecapped pretty much immediately, right? So like, did you kind of have like a falling off with the title? I know it was still a couple years before like Grand Blue came out.
So so this is gonna be really funny. So around the time, so I stopped playing Street Fighter 5 for a period of time because I moved, right?
Okay.
And for some weird reason, despite like all my equipment that I brought from my previous space to this one, despite it being the exact same, I couldn't play Street Fighter 5 on. I couldn't play Street Fighter 5. Like, if I played, I would probably get like 2 matches, and then I would just randomly disconnect.
Huh.
Right? So it kind of like killed my the vibe I had to play the game.
Yeah, I mean
So-
that makes sense, right? Like you're trying to play in the game, just like nah, fuck you.
And at the time, I couldn't travel to locals because I just didn't, like, I was working a night job. I didn't have the time. Like, I just didn't have the time.
Night jobs, the true enemy of esports.
So it was like a rough period of time for me. So what ended up happening was at this exact same time, so I would literally just, the only time I was playing Street Fighter 5 was when I traveled to locals. I mean, traveled to like majors. Alright. So what makes it funny now is at this time, oh no. That might kill. Yep. So at this time, I was a part of a team that has been outcasting the FGC, known as Brutal Democracy Gaming. I don't know why.
Very familiar with BDG.
So
Man, Aki had so much potential. I am curious what the change list for this character will look like throughout the history of Street Fighter 6.
So as I was on BDG, I was just like, I don't want to say I was going through a depression, but I was going through it like, yo, I want to play this fighting game. I want to play, and I can't. And like, because Street Fighter 5 was like the fighting game of like my choice at this point. Like, I didn't have any other games. And then the dude who ran BDG was like, try Grand Blue. And I'm like, really? And at this point, I didn't know, like, him telling me to try Grand Blue was like technical jargon, like, we need you to play something to represent the team, otherwise we're gonna have to kick you off the team.
Okay. You were like, oh wow, that's some interesting feedback.
I'll take it into consideration. It's like, yeah, you better.
Like, oh, are you a fan of this one? Yeah, sure, I'll give it a try. I trust your input.
So I was like, fuck it, you know what? There's like, and at this time I was like, I've been hearing how this game is like anime Street Fighter, so I'm like, all right, fuck it, I guess I'm a DPU anyways. And I was like, all right, fuck it, I guess. And then I saw like I was asking people like, who's the like the Teiga character in Grand Blue? Everyone said Grand, and everyone who said Grand, I got problems with.
I mean, that is the Ryu, right? Like,
Right.
I have never seen a shoulder that reminds me more of a Popeye's biscuit in my life. That character. What?
God.
oh man, yeah, choke on this boot
What?
for 30 seconds.
So, what makes a good Shoto for you then?
Like, like everything about Grand was just dry. Like, the way he walked, dry. The way he hit, dry. His normals, his specials, dry. I'm like, yo, like at least Ryu has like system mechanics. The motherfucker had. Hold on, I'm about to sneeze.
Bless you.
You were trying to ruin it for him. Everybody saw that.
Like, motherfucker had system mechanics going for him. He had V trigger that made him cool. He had like DP into like straight DP into super. I'm like, all right, cool. And then it's like Grand. I'm like, so all this motherfucker does is throw fireballs and just try to boot you. All right, no. So I was like, all right, who are the other shoulders in the game? There's like Percival. I'm like, all right, let me check out Percival. I'm like, this is a shoulder that I would play. But hilariously, I didn't play him. I went to Lancelot. Not because he was a Shoto, but because he reminded me of like my two favorite characters in like other fighting games. So I'm like,
Okay.
y'all adopted a child and named him Lancelot. How cool.
So, who are these other characters then?
Yang from Street Fighter 4 and Seth from Under Night.
Okay. Sure. So that's such a wide discrepancy of character, I feel like, to be like, well, I either play, Wise Mentor Shotos or these mixed machines with fast falls that are gonna break your ankles.
I feel like they appeal to like both sides of me. Like sometimes I want to so I guess it's just a matter of setting pace, right? Like if I'm playing a Shoto, I want to like slow the pace down, like focus on a neutral game, a fireball game. Like for me, when I'm playing a Shoto, I have a fireball and a dream. And the dream is that you jump at me like a dumbass and I DP the shit out of you for like half your life bar. That's the dream, right? And then the other side of me is like, yeah, I just want to mix you. Like, I just want to be on top of you. I want to smother you. I want to like suffocate you. I need you to like keep guessing and dying. So it also didn't help that like Lancelot and Percival had colors that reminded me of Dante and Virgil. And I'm like, you see?
Okay. I see.
You're making this way you see, you gave him blue armor and white hair. Cool. And now I'm playing Rising, and then they gave him another costume. It's like, oh yeah, and now you gave him Rapid Slash too. Kudos.
Oh, they're leaning into it then.
And Percival has Stinger. I'm like, good job.
So it sounds like if you played the Power Rangers fighter, you would probably play Quantum Red then.
I have never looked at Battle for the Grid a day of my life.
Never?
Nope.
Damn.
Good for you. So, chat, I don't know if you saw it earlier, but the ladder is now officially closed. We have run the distance. Your 2 hours is up. I hope you guys played as many games as you wanted to. So, right now, we do have the bracket runners in the background tallying up the numbers, telling Smash2G to run the numbers. They'll come back with the top 8 eventually, but I hate to say this, but I don't think you qualified, Teiga. Now,
if I qualified, that'd have been very disappointing for the rest of the cast who've been playing this game religiously. And I would have just said, y'all let a Grand Blue player get top 8? Shame on y'all. Shame on y'all.
So that doesn't mean we're kicking you out, though. If you want to, feel free to hang out while we do our top 8 thing. Totally welcome to have you. We do want to thank you for coming on. It's been great getting to pick your brain about not fighting games. I feel like we
mostly talked about RPGs tonight.
Yeah. I had fun. This was fun.
Let me chime in while I still have internet. So, for sure, Teiga, you've always been probably my favorite rival because you're you're so different from me. So like it has been how long? Oh, it has been probably the dopest 11 years hanging out with you. Either actually having like a cool moment or just, talking shit with you. So like as a friend to a friend, like fuck all the rivalry shit. Thank you for being like that cool friend that like I could always say some shit to you, and it's like it never goes past that. It's always like a really cool moment with you. So like not to get all like soft and mushy and shit, but like it legit has been like really dope to be your friend for the past 11 years.
I just have something I want to say in response to that. You chose the right photo.
Yeah. Okay. Did I show you the other photo that we were about to choose?
No.
I got you, Tom. Hold on.
I was gonna say, I'm like, you can't cue that up and then not put it on the stream before a break.
Hold on, let me pull up the stream. Let me pull up the stream. Hold on 1 second.
So, while they're doing that chat, I don't know if you could see Pipaka in the background.
Oh,
she's been trying to eat her collar for like a whole minute.
she's been doing this weird thing lately where she will just do this. Like wherever she is, she'll just stop and do this for like 5 minutes. And she just messes with the bow on her collar. So thanks for making an internet moment.
I'm literally trying to send a photo and it's not even doing it. That's files, please.
I guess that explains why you haven't answered my DMs tonight.
You sent me one DM.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I need to
I'm
be talking.
literally. Well, I just got signed out of Verizon.com, so that's good.
Oh, I just saw a funny
God.
message. I just saw a funny message from someone.
This is great. This is the best night of my life.
Hold on, I'm about to post this with no context in the voice channel chat. Hold on, where's the?
I sometimes forget that voice channels have chat now.
Me too.
Oh no, my activate Windows is covering the chat message now.
I'm gonna send this to you.
To me?
No, I'm sending it to.
Oh.
Well,
Technically, yes, you, but
I sent it to Doctor.
oh.
2.9 MB struggling right now.
It's in your Discord.
Download or
DMs.
upload?
Sending a photo.
Who's that from?
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna rat him out, but that's how he felt.
Yeah, I mean, Noah is, he definitely pats himself on the back with the tag, but he backs it up well enough.
See, I don't know what y'all are laughing about yet. It hasn't made its way to me in this game of phone tag.
He DM'd it directly to me when he said he was putting it in the voice chat.
I didn't see a text channel. I just sent it to the private. I just sent it to you, Brad.
Oh, all right.
That's fucking crazy. Anyway, I gotta figure out this top 8 before I lose my brain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
let's
gonna
take a break.
pop it to a quick break chat while they figure out the top 8. Brad and I got to refill our water bottles, that whole shebang. So stay tuned. We'll be right back in a few minutes. And if you want to support the channel, turn off those ad blockers or hit the subscribe button. Thank you, and we'll be right back.
I wonder if it's my mom.
Play relink.
Play Relink.
No.
Relink down.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Kickback. Tonight is sponsored by Hitbox. I'm the Doctor. I'm here with Brad Muse. We did just say goodbye to Teiga. Unfortunately, he was unsuccessful in making it to the top 8, but don't worry. We still got plenty of really incredible matches heading into us. And look at this. We're first up with the boys. You know them. Get on Street Fighter 6.
I love seeing Jamie Zaffarino playing the Jamie. He's been playing him at least a little bit because I know we had been watching him as a Dhalsim player for a while. Jamie
I think he's having a
makes
crisis.
some sense. It could be partly crisis, but like I think Jamie does fit him. I mean, he was a big Fei Long fan. He played Fei in Street Fighter 4, so being a Rekka character, it does make a lot of sense. A nice start there for Noah now. Corner position into the overhead. This ought to be enough to do it. Please spend the bar if you must, but you don't
Doesn't
because
even
it's
need
Luke
to.
and he's always putting out a brick.
Yeah, I mean, Noah's like a third of Zaffarino's age, and he just took him to school. But yeah, I mean, Zaffarino, we've seen him play Jamie in the past. We've seen him have some pretty good success with Jamie, especially in this tournament previously. But I know that on social media, he's been talking about how, you know, he's struggling a little bit with, you know, his place in the game currently. And, you know, he's not really feeling his own level. So I'm excited to see him trying out different things, even if it is just, you know, going back to a character he's played previously.
And you know what? You can still see shades of Zaffarino. That was a Zaf DP if I have ever seen one, as Noah's able to get that punish and close out the first round. That sounds more disrespectful than I mean for it to be. I mean for it to be only a little disrespectful. What I more so mean is you will find that Zaf very often, especially in a first to 3, represents uppercut very early. And what happens is once he lays the foundation of that, if he gets to, in a long enough set, he ends up making weirder wake-up choices on the back of you being worried and respecting the wake-up reversal. Rekka does not connect. Noah is pressing Zaf back into this corner right now.
Yeah, this is a really tough situation for Jamie. Not being able to get those drinks in means he's not getting to those higher level, you know, normals. He's not getting to those specials. And so he's very reliant on this level 1 DP. And with Noah reading it as well as he is, there's just no value gain here for Zaffarino.
Speaking of value gain, finally gets his first drink on the board for this round now. I will remind everybody, this is first to 3 now that we are outside of the ladder stage.
Wake up crouch
connects,
jab,
counter
yeah.
hit starter, yeah.
He's really just trying to get anything to get Noah to back off even a little bit, because when given the opportunity, Zaf will get those drinks in.
Yeah, I think as a Jamie player, you need to do that, and especially
no!
being on the lead. No, that was such an unfortunate spot to parry pump. Noah's going to get the round off that. Zaf, I get parry pumping, like in general. You had the drive gauge to block something. Well, no, you didn't have all that much drive gauge, but like parry pumping in that spot is just like, it's the riskiest place to do it, and that's the downside. Oh, we forgot to update the lobby.
No worries, chat. We'll get that set up in just a second. But yeah, I mean, I'm wondering if like an up back would have been a better option there, because like you said, he couldn't block it because he was going to go into burnout. The parry pump put him into burnout, but that was also kind of like a shimmy in its own right, because then now that you enter burnout, you're just screwed because you got hit by the DI. But like a neutral jump there, dodges the DI, only gets hit by an anti-air, and then you just have to guess on the ground flip.
Oh yeah, the Rekka, that Rekka's too close to be unpunishable there. Finds the uppercut though, does Zaf as we're pressing the issue, gets another drink on the board. Drink
this is
2.
big.
Yeah, big damage. Doesn't go for another drink, wants to continue the Oki now that Noah's back is up against the wall, but Noah finds a nice start. No,
not
cross
again.
cut does not auto-correct.
Jamie seems to be having, you know, a similar issue to when we saw Lily earlier, where it's like, do you push the Oki or do you go for your resource? And it's a thought that like Luke never has to entertain. It's, I'm just Okiing you over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, I think it seemed like the intention with the character from Capcom was if you do OD Rekkas into Drink Ender, you can, like, you're not negative, if I recall correctly, but OD is so expensive, you're not going to use it to continue pressure in that way. Noah continuing the pressure here in this P2 side corner. A second throw. Do I see a third? No. Okay, that was the you called out going to the air as an answer. Zaf does bring it out.
So something we've seen from Jamie players in the past, most notably, I believe it's Revilo from Utah, loves to do drive or parry rush into standing heavy punch from Jamie, because you come out of it, you get the 3 punches, you beat through, you know, a potential DI attempt. It's, I believe it's plus, or at the very least, it's safe enough that you don't get punished. Yeah. So like, we didn't see a whole lot of that from Zaffarino at that point, but could have been just overwhelmed. Like Noah was just pedal to the floor, all gas, no brakes.
Well, I know what it was, right? Because there was a spot that I wanted to highlight where Zaf went for, like, at the very tip of standing jab range. He did standing jab on block and then went to walk back and set up either a standing medium kick, crouching medium kick, or sweep as a whiff punish. He was trying to generate a spacing trap. But Luke's low forward clips Jamie walking back in that range. So what kept happening is Zaf was trying to set up the spacing trap, but Luke was keeping him pinned in that spot. So much of that set was the low forward being represented by Noah the Prodigy in exactly the range where Zaf is trying to hold back. And I mean, sometimes you just fall prey to it. Sometimes your opponent just has the exact opposite rhythm to you. Yeah. Where every time you try to do something, you just feel like you get smoked for it.
Yeah, and thankfully, Zaf will have more chances. Was in the winner's side because all 8 of our qualifiers start on winner's side. So this only just knocks him down to the loser's bracket. Will have more opportunities to continue tonight, whereas that does move Noah into the next round of winners, where I don't know if we have his opponent set up just yet, because we were running some matches off stream.
Yes, he's waiting on the winner of Greasy Feet and Joe Umerogan, which is already running in the background. Also running in the background is Knuckle Dew versus Ferreras, and then the remaining top 8 qualifying match is JB versus 801 Strider, which we should be loading into you very shortly.
Yeah, another, you know, pretty exciting match. We have been able to see a whole lot of JB lately, which has been, you know, a wonderful treat because they're playing the Rashid, this character that on release not a lot of people immediately gravitated to. So we did see a couple, but now that we're seeing JB consistently make these top 8s here, we're seeing a whole lot more of the character, which personally I love. I love this iteration of the character.
I don't know that it's fair to say we didn't see him explored a lot when he dropped. I think the timing of when Rashid dropped did him no favors for early representation.
Evo,
he dropped at, like, it was Evo right into, like, back-to-back really important tournaments. Right after launch. He's the first DLC character, so everyone's sort of on a similar foundation. There were people playing Rashid. They just weren't going to bring him to a tournament where there were these monumental stakes like we were seeing when he dropped.
That's fair.
Once things quieted down, that's when people started bringing the character to tournaments and being like, oh, look at what he can do.
Yeah, and I think, you know, 2 things. 1, that totally tracks. 2, I think it was a good sign from Capcom not to release him in a state that immediately would have overran Evo. Right, like we've seen that in the past, where like this character comes out, they are just game-breakingly good enough that anybody can pick them up in the 3 weeks of practice time that they had leading into Evo. But here we are going to see 801 Strider still rocking the Marissa. This time into JB, we have a million damage character into a mix character.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I think one of the difficulties is, you know, Rashid has a fireball. He can try to play at that farther range, but I feel like it's not in the spot where Marissa's going to be all that worried about it. And in fact, because of that upwards arc and not covering a lot of horizontal space, the only range you would worry about the fireball is a range where you can armor through it. So I feel like JB's responsibility is going to be able to get in the pocket, have a good read of 801 Strider's rhythm, and stay in the pocket, and that has not been the case so far. There is far too much neutral being played here for my like if I'm a JB fan.
Yeah, and I mean, look at what one touch leads into. That is not something that you can stand toe-to-toe on as Rashid. Gets eaten up on the wake up again, only has 1 more guest in their life pool.
Right, fishing for some whiff punishes, but like the range where Rashid wants to whiff punish is the range where Marissa is either counter poking, like we saw with that standing strong, or armoring through a limb. It just does not feel. I immediately feel like it doesn't feel stellar for Rashid, and I don't know that I've seen this matchup particularly often. Nice neutral, but look at that. Even at the range where her limbs are getting stuffed, you are just straight up not close enough to do anything.
So Chow was saying that during closed beta, Jamie kept his drinks.
I don't recall. Maybe
Yeah,
for like some of the earlier local
Earlier
builds, 'cause I
ones.
don't recall it.
Definitely, I don't think that's the solution to Jamie, but we'll find out. Hopefully, with the Ed patch, what changes patch 1 elicits. At least I hope we get a patch 1. It's been a year.
Oh, early parry pump from JB. I feel like Strider is delaying his stuff by a couple of frames every time, and JB going for that like perfect parry pump there is really unfortunate because it's just further indicating that JB feels one step off rhythm compared to 801 Strider. Has the life lead right just this second though.
Might be able to close it out here if they spend the cash. We're gonna go right into the level 2, make sure it combos. The damage is there, so we are gonna see JB able to pick up a round. Does have to spend both the meters though, and I mean, he hasn't been in a situation that we normally see him in where he gets a knockdown, double dash back, spends the level 2 for the mix. Like he had to spend it for that combo route, or else he was probably gonna get smashed into the next round. So just working on the back foot here, does get the very early burnout from Strider, but
oh man,
what are you supposed
that's
to do?
all it takes, bro. You're like, well, you say, what are you supposed to do? The reality is, if Marissa's stocked with bar, you have to tighten up your game. She becomes one of the most punishing characters in the entire roster. If you make a mistake against Marissa,
you're dead.
she is uniquely equipped to absolutely devastate you. And look at that, those two interactions. JB went from like, he had like moved control of the round into his favor for a second. One mistake, it's hella gone.
Yeah, and it's tough because, you know, Marissa was in burnout. It's supposed to be at the disadvantage. Didn't
Not
matter.
level 3.
Yeah, was able to spend it, get back into it. We're here now, the level 2, very early on from JB, putting them in a fantastic position here. Gets the mix. Not going to be able to close it out. Needs one more touch at the end of this.
Ooh, I wasn't sure whether the throw was going to be enough to do it. JB closing out that round, and indeed a game to tie this one up, 1 game apiece. One Strider versus JB to continue on in the winner's side. Maybe JB's finding a little bit of that rhythm. Even the fireball game, he seemed a little bit less comfortable throwing fireballs in game 1 than just then.
I am curious if this may evolve into one of those matchups, right, where it's like Marissa will bully you and get the first game, right? But then eventually you're going to learn that Marissa's just trying to punch you, and JB suddenly gets to get the read and level up. And I say JB, but I mean Rashid, and then start running their own mix. And it's like, well, Marissa's still trying to punch you, and you're doing ABC level calculus.
I think there's something to be said of like, sometimes there's simple instruments in an orchestra, and sometimes there's complicated ones. But it all comes together to make something worth listening to, or in this case, watching. Empty jump, no anti-air out of anti-air 801 Strider. Does this lock down in the corner, but the wake up level 1 out of JB now has quarter control. But in burnout means, especially against Marissa, you cannot afford to block at any point. Wow, lands into tornado, and now I'm in the back foot. But wake up buttons out of 801 Strider gets that last hit that was necessary to secure the round.
Yeah, the wake up crouch stab, so risky, but it works out for him. And look at how much drive is already gone from JB. That perfect parry just about eats up the rest of it. The wake up is not there, and now you're trapped against the wall. No meter. You got a level 1 in your back pocket, but you're not even going to get the chance to use it. That's game 3.
You are so extravagantly dead.
That is so
Even
optimized.
not even spending all the bar just because.
Yeah, just super optimized there, spending every last drop of drive meter to get those ODs, and then like you said, just Level 2, just because I can. I don't need the level 3. I'm going to save that, invest it in my 401k. You think I can afford this dress on that poverty? Nah.
I do want to highlight, I have never noticed that even though she doesn't have the Spartan helmet in this costume, she still puts the Spartan helmet on when she wins. Anyway, 801 Strider, after producing that Spartan helmet, produces another round win and is now on set point to continue on. We do have updates from the other side of winner's quarters. NuckleDu was able to take it over Ferreras, I apologize. And 801 Strider now 2 bars in the back. Corner control over JB and very little drive gauge.
Does get the air-to-air again with that target combo. Just far enough away to eat alive the buttons of JB. Are you dead? We got a level 3 extension here. I think that's it.
Oh, is that another perfect as well? I mean, Marissa will do that to you. Really, one of a few things happen, right? She can maul you off rip, and you can just get absolutely blown over. Or at any point while you're winning, she can swing it back into her favor. Marissa ends up creating this very volatile game. When you're on the back foot, it feels really miserable. When you're being the aggressor and you have that good read, it feels like you can absolutely blow her away. And it's so fascinating that that character ends up behaving like that. And that's part of why the tendency of the character is to have these crazy 100-0 comebacks. And the fact that that level 3 forces corner is, I think, a big part of it. You know, if you make a mistake against her while she has level 3 equipped, you are immediately put into the worst possible position that you can be in.
Does that give Mika season 1 turnstile stuff? Right? Where it's like the wall break, but not wall break, but you know what I mean. So once again, we are going to remind you guys, we have been sponsored for tonight by Hitbox. Take control of your gameplay. We've talked about them at length on many Casa shows. They've been wonderful for us that have, you know, not the best, you know, arcade stick dexterity, but it has allowed us to level up and continue playing in our respective titles. So it's been super fun, you know, being able to take them with us to events and get to check them out. You can head on over to hitboxarcade.com/Casa to check it out for yourself. And if you're, like I said, on the fence earlier, go to your local, go to a major, find somebody that has one of these and just ask you if you can just try it out real quick. They're super great for at least my ergo. Right? Like my wrists don't have the best mobility from years of competing. So
Competing in what, Doctor? You didn't play fighting games.
sorry, I come from the real world, Brad. I was touching grass.
That does more for your ankles than your wrists. So don't be talking about dexterity as though that matters.
I was a wrestler. My wrists hurt.
Then just say that. Why turn it into a touch grass kind of thing? Noah the Prodigy versus Joe Ume Rogan here in the Luke Mirror. Hey, you guys want to complain about Capcom Cup? I'm sure this is a matchup that you're going to see a couple of times, at least in terms of mirror matches. Joe Ume Rogan at the positional deficit, but the life lead, although that back throw does throw it in the other direction.
Hand wheelie champ. I don't know what that means. I probably shouldn't have read that on air.
I was just ignoring it.
Yeah, but it's Maldi. It's our #1 fan. He's even got the first in his name. But Joe Ume Rogan able to take the first round pretty confidently. You know, you did mention that he had the life lead very early on, looking to gain it again. Oh, the shimmy working out for him. Big damage.
Right, strong starter. Ooh, that was such a nice setup out of Joe. Second throw. I don't think the third one kills. Oh, he did go for a third one. Noah says, screw your choices, though. Swats the coin out the air instead of calling heads or tails. Trying to take the pressure. Joe is actually very brave at where he's choosing to counter jab. He's counter jabbing in spots where I feel like a lot of people can be a little bit more timid about the possibility of special cancels from Luke.
That's one of the things about the mirror, though, right? Like, you know what your character can do, hopefully. So you can kind of break the rules of the matchup in that sense, where it's like, I know I can get away with this because I've been doing this to everyone else until this point.
some real, is this what I do to people I deserve to be in here type energy. Joe gets a start, has the drive gauge advantage. Drive gauge disadvantage, but the life advantage.
Not for long.
DR in from Noah for blowing Joe up, thinking how you thought you were at fireball range. You are not, sir.
Oh. So that was something that Noah kept doing to Zaffarino in their matchup, and every single time it baited the DP out of Zaf. Joe, not getting caught by it this time, went for the normal instead, and able to take another round because of it.
And it's like you said, recognizing where your character's own tricks are. If anyone is going to know where I can't commit to my anti-air, it's going to be the person who has the same bait. Joe gets a nice meaty starter here. So, oh my god, you're already at the corner. I was going to say that's a lot of corner control, but instead we are just straight up there, crouching strong, the meme button. Joe Rogan gets a starter. We're not going to get to a second bar, right? But one bar may well be enough. No, it isn't. One more guess. What's it going to be? He's just fishing with crouch jab, but the second one connects, and Joe's able to close that one up 2-0 over Noah with a crouch jab check.
Noah neutral jumping there was so terrifying. You're on one touch against Joe Rogan, and you're just going to neutral jump? There's so many ways for that to go wrong, but took the chance, survived that chance, and it was something else that took him out in the end. But nice going for the DI there to eat up the last touch of drive gauge.
The bravery, the absolute cojones, the crouching jab there in a spot where it's like you either do it fast and blow me up early, or you do it all the way and, you know, gain some sort of invuln or something. Wow. Still on the back foot. Noah is not able to get the wall slump, but the throw is going to be able to connect it. Noah gets a round on the board over Joe.
Yeah, being able to take advantage of that DI situation again to eat up a whole ton of bar, but right off the rip, we're just trading blow for blow, going coast to coast, but all right, air to air working out.
That was both of them playing for neutral jump fierce, just by the way.
Yeah, one just got the button out slightly earlier.
Waiting it out. Wow, sweep there after a blocked fireball. That was really brave out of Noah. Both of them in burnout. Noah has level 3 in the tank, doesn't choose to spend it. That is a greedy choice.
What?
Oh my god, he's ready again.
Oh,
no!
he's gonna dodge it.
Oh!
Clip it.
Noah,
Clip it.
thank you for your donation.
I wanna dive into that, Thomas. I wanna see that in slow-mo.
If you look really closely, you can see the spot where he fucking lost.
You can see the spark lose his eye.
Oh my god. Well, anyway, Joe with that massive meter advantage because Noah decided to throw it away on a hard read. Oh, actually, though, Noah's in the lead. Imagine if Noah wins this set after we gave him this much bullshit.
Sometimes that's just how it is, but blocks the overhead, still getting thrown, though. Just the one.
Oh, that fierce hit so low. That was a spot where against, I feel like, any other character than Luke, you have time to anti-air. But Luke's crouching fierce hits so far down. Noah is able to close out that game. Even with the donation, I'm actually fighting you with one hand behind my back, good sir.
Hey, listen. He's a prodigy, man. They do that. Able to bust him to the corner.
Oh! Are you for real?
He was ready for it that time.
That was a trade combo there as well.
Oh, Joe has so much ground to work through right now. Andy's in burnout. That's not gonna do it. He just got DDT'd. Oh, you don't see that very often, chat.
No, I mean, there's very few opportunities where Luke wants to commit to like, well, I want the damage instead of whatever else I could have gotten. DR forward, suppressor. Joe feeling pretty suppressed right now. Crouching fierce meets neutral jump fierce. Joe finding a combo now, has him back at the corner. If you're Noah, the worst case scenario here is that Joe spends bar and you still win. No,
there it
what
is
a pickup.
again.
All right, Joe's gonna spend the bar, right? No, what a greedy choice, and he might be wrong for it.
He's still alive for at least one more guess. He guessed wrong!
You're actually dead.
Oh yeah, we got full critical art here. You're You're down. You're down. Heading into a game 5 between these two. They're playing so good. It's so crazy because Joe was so hot for those first 2 games. I genuinely thought he was going to 3-0, especially after that game 3 interaction where we were just, gobsmacked. But somehow Noah has stuck in it, been able to get the right pickups, and here we are. He now has reverse 2-0'd, potentially 3.
I feel like Noah is just getting the better of the ground game altogether by now. It's like it started with Joe seemingly getting better at some of the scramblies situations, and now Noah's like, all right, I know how to slow this down against you. There's just a lot of spacing traps that are going his way. A very slight life deficit here for Noah, but they're both in burnout. Gets away with a jump in, and now all of the momentum on
Who's
Noah.
going to get it first?
You just do whatever you want. You're basically out of burnout. I can't believe you jumped again. Wow,
He
Noah.
bet it.
You know what I love about that? Noah tested Joe on his DP 3 times in a row and then decided to remind him.
Hey, you still have this tool, right? Like, we both play the same character. It's just, a Z motion, you hit the double button, like, you're good.
The guy she says not to worry about versus you.
The cooler Daniel.
Yep. Okay.
Joe with a
had
life lead.
Into the level 3 is going to be enough to do it. We are going to final Actually, early enough for the combo. Absolutely. I shouldn't have cut myself off. Anyway, we are going to final round, but Noah, hugely important, has that 3-bar lead over Joe. Anyone's game, but Noah has so much damage potential off rip. And another part of that is he can be a little bit freer with his drive gauge because he has an entire level 3 cinematic worth of playing with. That's such a hard call out.
Yeah, I was going to say that you're not dead, but you are guessing for the game.
Into level 1.
Oh, no.
But he puts himself in burnout. Immediate CA, right? Yep, you need all of the time back on this burnout humanly possible.
I think
now,
Joe's
what
still...
Noah wants... He's still in the lead, so whatever. Noah needs to play safe, but maximize damage to the drive gauge. Yeah, jumping at spots where he knows he can jump, throwing fireballs otherwise. You cannot no! DR up into crouching fierce. Joe recognizes the pace Noah wants to play at and blows him up for it. So close to Noah's, but Joe just too solid. The win condition there for Noah was to beat Joe in a game of just solid neutrality. It's like, I need to play neutral against you and win until I'm out of burnout. And Joe knew exactly how to get out of that situation in a positive manner.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny too, because the round before you're like, oh man, Noah's like really testing these DP reactions, just constantly jumping at him, making him like try and guess the option. And this time he neutral jumps his once, and Joe's just like, we're not doing this again. I'm going to dash forward, I'm going to punch you out of the air, and I'm just going to move on to winners finals.
Yeah, great performance out of Joe Mirogan. Waiting now on the winner of what our next match is going to be, Knuckle Dew versus 801 Strider. If I've seen this match, I don't know that I've seen it particularly recently. I do have updates from matches that we unfortunately did not get to see this evening. Down on the loser side, Greasy Feet took it 3-0 over Zaffarino and waits for the loser of this match. Ferreris and JB still playing. We don't have the results, but the winner of that plays Noah. All of that making it up to our losers semifinals. And now Do not playing the Guile into Marissa, instead representing the Cammy immediately.
Always has the option to swap over. We've seen him in the past where if he takes a couple L's on the Cammy, he'll bust out the Guile, but I actually kind of like this. Bring more pace to the match. You do have to work a little bit harder to get these opportunities to do damage because you don't do as much damage, but we've seen it work for JB in the past. Not against Strider, obviously, because he lost, but dude needs the practice. Capcom Cup's in a week.
That is true. Well, so I think on top of that, I think Guile wants to play a slower game, but Marissa has some anti-fireball tools. It's just the way Guile wants to play isn't quite conducive. You don't have a cancelable low forward, so your low threat isn't as good. Cammy can instead get to the tip of like her optimum range and actually blow up a lot of the mid-range options out of Marissa, provided that you're going first. Yeah, exactly like that. Now having 801 Striders back up against the wall, and look at that, just setting up spacing traps built around the strength of low forward and knowing that there's damage behind it meaningfully. Low forward once again. It's almost like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, the empty jump into the low there just blows up so many options, right? Like, you try to Gladius, doesn't matter. Or not Gladius, the shield block, whose name is escaping me at the moment. Like, you just eat the low, you try to beat it out with something else, you're already there. Like, it's just so smart from Do. But taking game 1...
Right, really strong position now, having 801 Strider up against the corner again, starting to, so that's going to be the that is the thing that you're going to have to hone into here as 801 Strider, is if you have to try to find a read on jump versus dive kick and armor at the appropriate time to be able to nullify that part of the game. Otherwise, NuckleDo is just going to get to bulldoze over you. Dive kick again, nice counter jab in that spot. That is an inkling of what I need to see out of you.
We're seeing a fair amount of sweep from Do, too. Again, just prioritizing the toes. We do see some really nice crouch jab into crouching light punch, or crouching light kick from Do, which the high-low and everything coming in from Cammy is really kind of, mixing Strider up.
Okay, her ODDP gets out of the corner. This is massive. Roundhouse check.
Oh, you're dead. That's a lot of damage. It's so much damage.
Yup.
Oh my god. Was that a standing medium punch from Strider that just got obliterated? Like,
I think it was a jab, but I'd have to
either
watch
way.
it. Wake up super does work out here for 801 Strider. Just about equalizes the life here in this round. Crouching jab check connecting. We are back to mid-screen, but Wake Up parries out of NuckleDo. Just trying to build enough room. I think if I had to levy a critique against NuckleDo, I think it's that every time he's walking back and trying to represent standing roundhouse range, that's a round where he starts to get smoked. I think you need to operate a little bit more in the pocket, because Strider doesn't want to use the armored tools when you're between medium and light range.
Yeah, we are going to see a really slick sequence here. Oh, he actually got the hit!
Oh!
That was just a mid!
But you know what it was?
It was a Marissa mid.
The shot at Sokola, it was meaty, no vegan.
Oh, God.
Don't, oh, God. He's going to chuckle at that later. Anyway, low forward connects, drive reversal comes out of 801 Strider, phalanx, nothing really for it. Perfect parry out of NuckleDo. The most important thing here, that drive gauge advantage and having this corner position.
Oh, and Strider spending it for the rush there just to immediately get punched back to the corner. But now that we're back to this neutral, they were about even for a second, and it's all gone now. It's...
Oh! All right, this is like hella plus frames. 801 Strider
bad.
without... Yeah, 801 Strider's about to get a level 1, but you don't even really want to commit that. What a call out on the shallow dive kick. And now, look, the most important thing about going for the charged special moves there is that extra little bit of time. Perfect Read comes up from NuckleDo, finds that DI. NuckleDo's so good at constructing his combos in a way to specifically target your drive gauge. A very slight life deficit, but has the drive gauge advantage. Dive kick connects. Finds the throw. 801 Strider really low on life here. What a good throw tech. I wasn't ready for that either.
That did not look like it was in front, but yeah, I mean, the drive game, it's so important, especially in matchups like this where Marissa could just bum rush you like that. And no! Into the level. Oh, you're dead. Oh, you died. Your life bar was brought to 0.
I'm sorry, Strider. For a sec, I didn't know about your game.
No, we didn't know you played like that. And here we go, into the corner. Oh, he held it, let it go, and then had time to press it again.
He was like, you parry pumped? Word. I'm just going to hold and wait until you're done blocking. Pick up there for Do, but needs to work his way out of the corner. Okay, went for the throw there. I think that was a spot where you should have recognized that Do was going to try to position swap and maybe be ready with like a jump back target combo. But whatever, you've worked your way back to the corner position now. And the fact that it's slowed down is actually kind of beneficial to you because the drive gauge differential is really problematic, but you commit to the drive reversal at exactly the wrong spot. Level 3 is going to ensure the burnout here for NuckleDu. 801 Strider, though, has level 3 in the tank off of the next touch, so Du cannot make a single mistake.
Oh, he got the hit, but it's not
nothing.
enough. You gotta be so careful on Wake Up. Goes to the other side. That hit from so
God.
far away.
But he has one more guess. Oh, what a whiff punish. 801 Strider gets a little bit too hungry. Standing medium kick comes out of NuckleDu. 1 round apiece here in game 3. This is all tied up. Plus
I'm not even
Rams
sure. I'm not even sure what Strider was reaching for there. Like he looked like he was backing up to be safe to try and like punish something with the level 3, and then he
I think
just
he was
swings a haymaker.
He was setting up for like a spacing trap. If Du had walked forward, even on block, it wouldn't have been like too problematic. Right, jump
Dude,
out.
it was the whiff
but
that
you have
mattered.
to respect the jump. Like you really struggle with the anti-air game here. When you live in that pocket, that's why I'm talking about how NuckleDu needs to stay out of heavy range and stay between medium and light range, because it's exactly the spot where the anti-airs aren't stellar for Marissa.
This is a character we've talked about in the past, having those issues, and that just clipping the toes. Still had gas in the tank, but Du able to take it. Game 3 on the board for him. And Strider definitely making him work for it.
That was game 2, real quick. We are continuing forward though. 2 games up to 1.
It's 2-1, Brad.
Oh. You were referring to the quantitative game count, not the score. Apologies. 80 pressure coming out from NuckleDu. 801 Strider surrendering a lot of space, and that's exactly what I mean. Right? Like, when Du jumps at that spot, Strider is not equipped for the right anti-air for it. Oh!
Goodbye. Does get one more guess. Gets hit low. Oh, completely clipped. Trying to do nothing on Wake Up. Was just trying to wake up. But Strider able to make it very cleanly through that round.
Yeah, just jump into like nothing there for Du, just waiting to see what Strider's doing with his ground-based position. On the back foot, nice pickup. This is like a 60% lead, 70% lead now for Du. If you can keep this corner position, keep it locked down, don't spend a bar, this is stellar.
Oh, yeah, that's... Oh, didn't have the OD for the special, but still able to just jab it out. Takes the round. Set point now here for NuckleDu, looking to meet Joe Rogan in that winners finals.
Right, pressing the issue, finally finding some of these jump back anti-airs there as 801 Strider. I wonder whether it is too little too late. Has the advantageous quarter position they need. No, the level 3 commitment out of the counter poke. Yeah, I know you want to armor here, and I don't care about it. 801 Strider not going to want to block too much. That's meaty pressure. Jumps out. You're in the corner position. No, NuckleDu finds the shimmy attempt to make this one happen. 801 Strider can bring this back around if he gets a great defensive read, but being in burnout so scary here, and it is not going to happen. We have 1 bar in the back. NuckleDu able to close it out and move on to that winners finals as you had suggested.
Yeah, that type of cancel is something we see from Luke players all the time, right? Where they're in burnout, they use the charge punch to try and get something out of their opponent, and then they just level 3 them. But that is not something we've seen really from Du. So to pull it out there, gets through the armor of the super punch there, really clean.
Yeah, so moving on to play against Joe Rogan. Quick updates from the loser side. I see DQ for JB. So Noah moving on opposite him. Greasy Feet has to play 801 Strider now. And then we'll play Noah, or the winner of that, I'm sorry, we'll play Noah afterwards. But we are rapidly approaching our top 4 for the evening.
Yeah, just real quick, I just want to jump in and say shout outs to JB. There's no like drama behind the DQ. He just had to go. But I do want to give him a shout out and good luck this weekend to the. He's gonna play in the LCQ on Saturday.
Let's
if
go.
anybody is going to the LCQ and you frequent Casa, I'm rooting for you. 100%. Like you mean everything to me. If you're using my event as a way to practice and make your way into the possibility of playing on in the group stage, then I'm rooting for you 100%. I know that tournament is stoked. So
Yeah, so many
fuck them up.
players.
Fuck them up. 300 players. So what?
You could play almost that many in a ladder bracket.
I mean, not untrue. You can get a whole lot of matchup experience in that ladder bracket as well. And hey, if you're frequenting the ladder or maybe hanging out with us, please take a moment while we are in between games to go and show some love to the Matcherino. I am double checking how many codes we have left because yes, indeed, we have coupon codes. I don't know if y'all know that, but 11 codes remain. I see way more than that of you in the chat. We are in between games. You have nothing else going on except just you're listening to me prattle on. Wouldn't you prefer to tune that out? Go. It's like 5 button presses to go and claim those codes. Every code
I had
is a
6
free
today.
25 cents. It was 6 for you?
I had like some like message from Google. They're like, "Are you sure you want to log in?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do this every week." But typically it is 5 unless Google wants to make your life more difficult, which they are known for. So that does happen. But chat, I mean, we have so many streamers in tonight's tournament. Take the link, go on over to their chat, risk getting shot out of chat. Just post it, let it rock. They may or may not have a Nightbot that will shoot you on sight. Doesn't matter. Do it anyway. Or let the streamer know about the match, at the very least, and let them grab the link for themselves.
And if it's not going to be that, you know what? I know that time is important, right? Like we're talking about the number of button presses in order to get into the Matcherino. I know that I'm going to have a lot less free time in the next, month or two. So I value the amount of effort that it takes for me to make sense of what I'm doing while I'm playing a fighting game. You know what? The distance it takes to throw an arcade stick lever, that's too much. That's too much time. I don't have that kind of time. I need a momentary reaction. You know what gives me that? Leverless controllers like Hitbox. You can find it over at hitboxarcade.com/Casa. Thank you so much to Hitbox for partnering with us this week, putting $50 in the Matcherino. Boy, oh boy, wasn't that a long walk for a short drink of water.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure how the beginning of your sentence
I was going to
related.
bring that back around.
Well, I didn't know how it related to Matcherino codes. Was what I thought you were getting at, and I thought you were just ignoring the panel. But no, it all came. It took. You did it in your style. That's
of course.
This is your bless your heart moment. But heading into it, we got winners semifinals. NuckleDu versus Joe Umerogan back onto the Guile. He probably has so much experience in this matchup.
Yeah, and I think NuckleDu makes the swap over to Cammy for very specific reasons. I think the Luke matchup is not going to inspire him off of the Guile. Luke is a character where Guile can definitely play that sort of mid-rangey, zoning-y style that NuckleDu really wants to represent. It's just unfortunate because you cannot make a lot of mistakes. Having the drive gauge advantage, the slow game is working out absolutely great for NuckleDu. Every time he wants to try parry, oh my god, neutral jump roundhouse beats out the DR forward attempt. Joe Umerogan down a hell of a lot on drive gauge and takes the lead. DI working out for NuckleDu. Only commits the level 1 to try to gain that life lead. What a corpse hop, and he finds the stun.
Oh, that was so slick. Using the upwards angle of that level 1 to buy him enough time to get the corpse hop. And then how many times are we going to see NuckleDu stun somebody? He has it down to a science. He knows you're getting stunned. He's just wondering how he's going to do it to you.
Oh, good, perfect parry timing out of Joe Umerogan. And I wanted to highlight this in his previous match against Noah as well. The perfect parry into drive rush, like against the fireball. Joe is representing that in his mid-range arsenal incredibly well. Maybe the best of anyone that I have seen in a fair bit of time. Doesn't block the second part of the target combo, though.
Sometimes you just forget. Activation, looking for that burnout here. There it is. All of a sudden, Chip was a factor, and then you ran out of life.
Chip was a factor, and that's why Joe died. That was, like, that's a situation that doesn't look like a 50-50. I assure you it is. You either block and you're wrong and die, or you jump and you were wrong about the timing and you die. It's a 50-50 with extra steps, but trust me, it's a 50-50. You just didn't know. Joe Umerogan has a decent life lead here in this game too, and the positional advantage, but Joe much more willing to play aggressive with his drive gauge than NuckleDu is.
I actually like that level 1, was able to tell it wasn't going to be a projectile coming at him. So using the hit invulnerability there for level 1 to buy him space, gets the hit, spends the cash, able to get the round.
Right, critically needed that. Do has some bar available. Still fishing with that low forward. Interesting. So what's very telling about that is it means Do is not trying to compete at around his jab range. If Do doesn't feel comfortable hitting a low forward or a low strong, he's hesitant to hit buttons. That's important information to Joe Umerogan to find here.
I feel like that was a fairly risky spot for Joe to go for that level 1. There was a boom already out. The level 1 could potentially lose to the boom, but depending on the spacing there, Knuckle Duke can level 1 in response and just eat up the level 1 of Luke. So it worked out for him, though.
See, a part of that depends on timing because I imagine Luke's level 1 super is coded as a projectile, and level 1s are not projectile invuln. So if you're too late, you'll actually still eat that because the projectiles are on top of you. One game apiece right now.
Yeah,
Joe was able to bring that one back around.
It's a weird setup. It's spacing timing because the sandblasts are shorter than the Sonic Hurricane. So, but he charged it.
Ooh.
That was so scary.
Pick up, finally finding some. Well, I was about to say finally finding some. That was not a light strength button. That was another mid strength button. Oh, the very timing on the fireball. Do's fireball game on Guile is among the best.
It's like 30 years of practice.
How long do you think Do has been playing Street Fighter?
I don't know. Street Fighter 4 came out like 25 years ago, right?
Jesus Christ. I'm like genuinely hurt. Oh my god, throws it plus on whiff.
Gets the flash kick, puts him in the corner, trapping him against his will yet again. We have the level 3 banked for Knuckle Dew here, spending the 2 though. And yeah, this is that 50-50 again.
Oh, he commits to the level 2 and Do with more than enough drive gauge to finish out the round. 2-1 now for Joe. Rather than waiting for that, I mean, the thing about every 50-50 in fighting games is they're not actually a 50-50. You have the option to turn it into a 1-4 if you guessed right and they guessed right. You can make a defensive
50-50.
choice. Yeah, it's when you go double or nothing, like Bunch with a slice of pizza.
Either it works or it doesn't. See, the problem is it's not just pieces of pizza with Bunch. He double or nothing's everything. So 2-1 here for Knuckle Dew. He pushed a button. He got jump light kick or something ridiculous, and so he wasn't able to punish the sandblast. Gets a throw.
Do is playing a much tighter game right now is I think part of what's working out for him. Like willing to take the throw, not swinging in as many spots as it's feeling dangerous. It's part of why he's not playing like a light level game. It's because at that range, it's much more scrambly for him. He doesn't want to deal with it. Instead, he's playing a mid-level game and it's tightening everything up as he finds the throw, and it is now set point for Knuckle Dew.
Trip guarding him with the throw there, it seemed. But, all right, this is a better start than Joe's had for a long time now. Gonna get the corner pressure. 1. Do we got 2? Tried to shimmy
Wanted shimmy immediately, but Do is very plainly demonstrating he's playing a much tighter, smaller game. Block on the overhead extension of the target combo. Joe gets a pittance of an answer, but it is enough to earn him some momentum.
Level 3, I don't think that's enough. We were just into the yellow health bar. I'm pretty sure you're still alive. Yep, there's one guess for game.
It's still the right choice to solidify it, especially when you know you're at set point. It's a decision that you can make differently at 0-0 in the set, but here, you know you need to be as secure as possible at any good moment. Still set point for Knuckle Dew, but
and on that wake
staring
up,
down the barrel of go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say on that wake up, it just kind of again reiterated what you've been saying about Dew, is that he is beyond willing to just take the throw. He is telling Joe, you are not gonna throw me to death, guaranteed. I will eat as many throws as it takes. You're not throwing me to death. And Joe is not believing him in what he's telling him.
It sucks to believe, right? Because it is just not the way you want to play. It is the smallest possible gain you can get per interaction. it feels bad after a certain amount of it. Your goal with throw is almost entirely to be like, eventually you're gonna hit a button and I'll kill you for it, right? Throw is never the primary goal.
And dude just has such a lead in terms of set score. He's like, yeah, I don't care.
Even set score notwithstanding, I think just recognizing that Luke is a little bit more solid in the scramble and has more damage available. NuckleDu has level 3. We're not going to be able to get the extension there, but Joe Mayrigan's still on the back foot. No, he eats it. Yeah, you are 1,000,000% dead. There's nothing you can do. This is looking like a bullet hell game at this point. NuckleDu able to move on to the winner's side of grand finals off of a solid fireball game and just playing tight and solid. Anywhere where there was a risk of scramble, it was like, I'm out.
So with that, like we said, we do have our winner's side secured here in the form of NuckleDu. Joe Mayrigan will have more opportunities down on loser's side, but we are going to be giving you, chat, a special opportunity. I've been told that there are 3 match Reno codes remaining, and as a reward, we're going to give you 3 minutes of ads. So we'll be right back. If you didn't want the ads, you'd use the codes. It's simple trigonometry. So we're going to do that. We'll come back. We'll have our losers semifinal locked in for you when we do that. So use the codes and maybe we won't have to disappear again. Welcome back, everybody. The Casa Kickback is back, and we are bringing you tonight from Hitbox. It's been an amazing night. We have seen so many good matches. We had our special guest, Teiga, on earlier tonight, working his butt off, letting us know how he feels about RPGs. So I'm the doctor. I'm being joined by Brad, Muscleman Masters. We got losers
I wish.
semifinals. My bracketology.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we have 801 Strider versus Noah the Prodigy playing out this one. Now, Joe Umerogan waiting in losers finals, and Knuckle Dew up there waiting in the winner's side.
He did win
Grands.
in winners finals.
Yeah. He won in order to get to the winner's side.
Yeah.
Verb to noun. It's almost like the English language sometimes translates decently.
That's a bit of a stretch. But yeah, no, tonight's been great. I've been super blessed to be, doing my little commentary thing, sitting here on the sidelines, getting to talk about video games.
Gotten to in a while.
Yeah, did a little bit of resetting, which has been nice. So it's fun to be back on the microphone. Obviously, it's always a good show being here at Casa, having Brad as my co-commentator. So it's been fun. Teiga was a great guest. The match has been stellar, so there's really no complaints on my end, but we're back. Grand finals are not yet JNV. We do have to do
close.
loser side first. So we got a couple matches. We're going to have 801 Strider versus Noah the Prodigy up first. The winner of that will face Joe Umerogan, and then the winner of that will face Knuckle Dew. So
based on what we've seen tonight, Doctor,
yes.
Looking at this top 4 now, what are your expectations?
I think Noah will beat Strider. I think Joe and Noah will go to game 5, and I'm leaning towards Noah because he's just a very consistent player, but Joe Rogan already won the matchup, so I think he could feasibly take it. And then Knuckle Dew, having beat 2 of the remaining 3 players already, will just win again.
Okay, so you're playing numerically. Understood. Okay. Nice little
Frame
check
data.
on the forward movement there from 801 Strider. That's bracket data is what that is at that point. Meaty connects for 801 Strider. Parry pump out of Noah the Prodigy doesn't really work out, but we're able to get out of the corner. Finds the regular throw. Oh, we do get the anti-air. I thought for a second that it wasn't quite going to be there, but the last second.
Sometimes you just have all the time in the world to get that punished. I still get so surprised every time I see that.
Whoa!
Armor. The drive reversal, it still just blows my mind when I see it, because it's so punishing when it doesn't work. And we've already seen Strider get punished for it.
I think there are characters in this game where it makes sense to use it, right? Like, it's sort of like V reversal and V shift. There were spots where it felt risky in Street Fighter V, but there were also spots where it was just sort of the de facto solution.
I think it is.
If you want to get out of this situation, this is just the economic choice.
Yeah.
And they are much fewer in this game, but they still exist.
Yeah, I think, especially against Luke, I think you do have an opportunity where you get the option, because you have to time it during their most active options, right? Like, if you get caught out using it against the jab, that's just mistiming. Like, you deserve to get punished for that. Case in point. But if you're using it while he's charging the knuckle and you interrupt the charge, that just makes sense. Like, that is a net positive.
This is low-key scary. Oh my god, Strider, if you blocked that mix-up, this round would have been yours, I swear to you. But instead, now Noah the Prodigy has this very advantageous position. Now that he has started blocking, this is a little bit scary. We do find the anti-air by way of the armor right into the level 3. 801 Strider, full drive gauge in corner position. But here's the thing, because so much of this burnout was spent on the back foot, 801 Strider actually has less of an advantage than you would think, because burnout is now gone, and Noah the Prodigy is going to close out the round anyway.
Yeah, had everything going for him, stalled out the recovery timer, had a couple seconds where they were able to try and take advantage of Noah in burnout, and had that second neutral jump gone their way, instead of Noah being able to get to the button first, the round would have been over. But Noah capitalizing on something when they were given it, and here they take the game 1.
Ooh, interesting. So I think Noah is sort of honing in on where 801 Strider is starting to use these armored gladiuses as pokes, and is waiting to whiff punish them.
Wow.
Ooh, that's what that was for there. That low forward connecting. 801 Strider gets
Stun.
the immediate stun here.
Not a jump-in combo like we see so often. Just going for pretty standard combo. Does get the shimmy to go, and GG's.
Right, a meter advantage here, and if you get an early lead in this run, no, perfect parry from Noah the Prodigy, and goes for, optimizes that for meter instead of, you know, anything positional. I think you could have been closer off of the back throw, but who cares? Oh, checking the DR forward with the DP. That's one of those spots where some people treat that as a place where you just make an economic decision of whether you want to deal with the follow-up whatsoever.
So much burnout in this set so far. Not going to be able to close out the bar here from Strider, though. Going to start building it back up, but just gives up so much space against Noah when they're in burnout. Like, you're playing a character that can just absolutely brutalize people in burnout, and you're afraid of him.
Noah's closing out this round as well. 801 Strider having a 3-bar lead makes this very scary. That's the thing with Marissa, right? We've talked about it a couple of times this evening and over the lifespan of Street Fighter 6, but Marissa is a character where once she has that level 3 stocked, it feels like you're not allowed to make a mistake against her.
Yeah, you're not allowed to make a mistake. You're not allowed to leave too long of a button out. You're not allowed to whiff something.
Oh my god! Strider, please! Has that worked once this set?
Yes, the one of the very first one, or the second one it worked, sorry. Because the first one was like, yeah, that's where it doesn't work. The second one I was like, oh yeah, see, it works. But I wonder what, I'd love to get Strider on the show and ask them their thought process about it, because they seem to be doing it in spots where you would potentially DP if you had one. Marissa obviously not having one.
Oh my god!
Still wins.
I thought he was alive by a hair.
Can we?
But yeah,
Can we talk about how the flex did damage? The flex was the damage. It was just
it's the emotional damage.
Let me just.
Luke
was
is
like-
definitely the type of guy that would see a woman flex bigger than him and like take damage from that.
I don't know what to make of that remark. So instead, I'm going to talk about how Noah the Prodigy is the one getting baited on drive reversal this time.
Oh, that might just be my end.
Right, jump in pressure going. 801 Strider still sitting pretty strong right now. A perfect KO to close that one out, formally taking the lead in this set.
There it is. It works. Able to get the pickup afterwards as well, pushing him ever forward to the corner, but Noah still pressing buttons, still dashing out. Both players
Okay.
so close to burnout.
Huge, but I think Marissa is a character who targets drive gauge better than Luke does. And look at the fact that 801 Strider has no interest in blocking after any button. He's like, yeah, I get it. You're not going to commit to anything that guarantee loses you a turn. You're only doing staggers. Gets thrown, though. This is a lot of life for Noah to try to be able to get back from.
But look at the
Strider
chip
can
he's
only
doing to the
afford to block
gauge.
for so long.
Yeah, I mean, Strider is taking so much damage to that gauge, finally able to bust out with a Superman punch. But we got the critical lord! Oh, can you do enough? Now you're dead.
Oh my god!
That's how the cookie crumbles, chat.
Well, hey, on the upside, just like last game, for round 3, 801 Strider still has that 60% button of like, I don't care how you were doing. Oh my god, that landed as a punish counter too. Strider tried to do something on landing and it didn't quite work out. Wake up level 2 does connect.
So that removes that 60% button that you were literally just talking about, Brad. This is, you know, we're at a stage in the round where you're not building 2 more bars. You do have this level 1. You're far enough away that you're safe on that reversal, thankfully, because that could have been so bad. Oh,
okay.
1 bar in the tank. Do you have enough? Yeah, you can extend this. No! Okay.
Oh! Somebody, if you know in chat, please tell me if that's real or not. Because it looked real, and I really hope it was and that I didn't know that, but imagine finding out that wasn't.
What, the level 1 into meaty
Into
throw?
meaty Scootum command grab.
Oh, they must have a chunky connection.
Mika Return Enthusiast says, "Oh, if it works, it's real." You know what? That is true.
Yeah, I mean,
But if I know that it doesn't work, does that prevent it from being real?
I mean, mathematically, it's gotta be real, right? Like, you know. Where's my fat app? Oh god, I haven't opened this app in so long. It just told me they added LFET.
Wow. And we know the Prodigy has a really hearty lead here and is able to really get the better of that round set point now here for Noah. I feel like we've been talking a lot about how 801 Strider was playing this pretty effectively, but Noah has just... Luke does so well in the scramble. He maximizes damage off of so many touches. He's just a great character to be able to overcome a deficit very easily. 801 Strider is committing a lot of drive gauge to try to close this out. Are we going to spend a bar? Yes, we are. We are spending 2 bars, in fact.
Not enough.
But it is not enough to do it.
And now that
Oh,
you're
but
in
Noah's
burnout? Okay.
Yeah, there's no world where Noah the Prodigy is able to intelligently spend bar in that round.
So according to the app, Brad, on level 1 knockdown, when it is uncharged, you are knockdown plus 14 frames. And for stance command grab, it is 13 frames.
Wow. All right. Well, today I learned you spend the level 1 here, right? Oh my god. I don't know if it would have burnt out, actually. 801 Strider in a really delicate position here, and now in burnout. This
Oh
is
no,
tough.
that's it. That parry probably seals the deal. You do get one guess on wake up, but you're burnt out. You're gonna have Noah having a healthy amount of drive. I don't know how Strider makes it back. Wake up level 2.
Basic. Oh, wake up jab. What a choice. But what I was going to say is, like, you basically cannot make a passive defensive decision here. Checking the forward movement into the level 2. No, the Prodigy on the back foot.
It doesn't burn out.
Yes, meaty for the burnout. 801 Strider gets out of burnout just in time. The city was around. The DI connects. 801 Strider has the damage in the tank. Noah had so little left, but 801 Strider is able to close it out. What a turnaround of what was such a delicate round.
Just Marissa things. That was so wild. I'll eat my words. I said I don't know how Strider does this, and then he did it. I will eat that humble pie. Whew.
Marissa, like, when you choose to cash, Marissa has the best cash out in the game, I think. Like, if Marissa spends what she has, it is the most value for money of any resource in the game, I think.
Yeah.
Outside of, like, if you manage to land Kimberly level 3 in round 1, that is probably the only thing that returns more on your investment. But I don't care how badly the round is going for you. As Marissa, if you land level 3, it is anybody's game.
Yeah. Would you didn't even land the level 3 there? It was a level 2. And, like, so the level 2 lands, and it didn't burn out. And I was so convinced Noah would have OD DP'd. And he decided to just block. Which, it's not the wrong decision. I
get it. The coin flip there, right, is like ODDP is the winning choice. You are either choosing I win or lose, or I lose or nothing.
Yeah.
And, like, nothing being far more likely, you're like, well, I'll play for nothing and play a little bit more stable. We are loading into our losers finals here. I hope you like Luke, 801 Strider, because you get to play another one. This time the flavor of Joe Ume Rogan, using a lot more standing medium kick than we saw represented out of Noah the Prodigy.
Yeah, and I gotta say, the ODDP thought is my bias because I am 1000% DPing on wake up every time I can. But Strider gonna be able to almost to be the first one to take the corner. Joe taking a lesson. What is that? That button's so good coming out from Joe. It's just gonna block the charged super punch.
Okay, perfect parries coming out from 801 Strider. Interestingly enough, that was something that I gave Joe a lot of credit for earlier on. Oh my god, the spacing out of Joe looking so solid. We're not going to commit any bar just yet because we know we can cash out on the next touch. Oh, good spot to armor.
We're seeing quite a bit of... I was going to say we're seeing quite a bit of charge from Strider in these positions where you have the opportunity to swing these big, heavy buttons. And that's where we've seen a lot of players practice their perfect parries. Joe's just so content to block it. He's like, yeah, you're plus, but why do I care? I'm Luke.
Yeah, I mean, once he gets outside of... Once there's any amount of advantage to turn it scrambly, that's when he starts to be able to really scrap it up with you. He's a really scrappy character. 801 Strider trying to find the spot where he can armor through a Sandblast or a limb, and it's just not quite working. Between Crouching Strong, Standing Medium Kick, and Sandblast, the ranges are too different. So he's settling right now for earning real estate on the screen, but Joe cashes out, gets the better of it with the lead, and brings us back to mid-screen. What a check on the forward movement. Joe has this innate read on when 801 Strider feels the need to try to tighten the noose, and is checking it every time. Both of those rounds in this first game were the result of Joe knowing the right spot to check.
Yeah, and so these two played on separate halves of the top 8 winner side. So unless they played in ladder, this is the first time they're playing tonight, but it is the first time we're seeing them play. So to see the evolution as this set goes on is going to be really slick. So far we haven't seen any reversal, drive reversal from Strider yet either, but this is not enough. I don't know, I was surprised when she doesn't kill. Chip?
Yeah, waiting for Chip, just had to find the right opportunity. Like, you don't want to risk overcommitting and losing out on your advantage. So you want to find a spot where it's guaranteed. Getting that first round on Chip indeed, and now still trying to play some footsies at this mid-range. A little bit more medium kick. Okay, Crouching Strong out of the phalanx.
Just casually eating 2 bars of drive gauge away from Joe, doing it again every sequence, just chunking through that bar. All right. Joe recognizing the charge there, using the level 1 to bust through it. Oh, no.
Okay. He finally found the spot to represent that armor, and now he's really trying to stay tight on it. He's really trying to ensure, yeah, Joe has to spend an awful lot to try to get out of the situation. It is more or less checkmate. The second 801 Strider finds some frame advantage, which is what he finds there. No, goes into the wrong version of Gladius, gets poked out for it. Joe could bring this round back around. Overhead connects, he finds the throw on the DI. Say it ain't so. He's out of burnout. 801 Strider finally finds the crouching jab. Oh my God, you're gonna give me heart palpitations.
That was stressful. That was so stressful.
Alexa, what's my blood pressure?
Don't say that too loud. She'll actually try and answer you.
Yes, she will. She'll be like, here's what I found on blood pressure.
It'll just be some AI prompt. So, trapped in the corner, Joe trying to just stand the storm while he just buys space. Nice parry, just eating that up, getting the drive gauge back, gets an opportunity to spend some.
There's like, if I had to describe the rhythm that's happening between these two players right now, like 801 Strider, Joe is playing a game where he is now trying to come in like a quarter beat before when 801 Strider is trying to do something. And that's a very hard timing for him to catch. We're seeing it narrowly miss a lot, but when you see him able to check like a DR there, he found that moment to preempt the note.
Yeah, and it's Luke, so he is going to be heavily rewarded when he does get the opportunity. It's just that in this matchup, he's equally punished when he misses the note. So it's something that, you know, not a lot of other of the Luke matchups really have that same balancing act. Punish, counter throw, gonna give the corner here to Strider.
Waiting it out. Yeah, I love that. Charge, play for the burnout, who cares? And oh no, just be careful. Has to go into the DI. I love that spot. Goes for the side swap, but not choosing to go into a level 3 at that spot. Oh! That was such a nothing bait.
Oh, but Strider.
Oh, that was a reset. Oh my god, okay, the amount of layers here were nutty, because Joe American was like, well, screw it, I have a round to play with, I'll go with the level 2 reversal. If I'm right, I win the game. If I'm wrong, who cares? At least 801 Strider has to spend bar, and he goes, yeah, not if I have a better 50-50, my guy, holy shit!
I'm shook. I thought he dropped it, and then it worked, and I'm just like, bruh.
Bro, he fucking peeled that onion one layer at a time.
I can't peel onions. I cry too much.
Thanks for managing to bring me the rest of the way down, Doctor. Anyway, into the level 3 here. Wow. So, 801 Strider, max drive gauge. You can make a light level mistake. Like, you can armor through a jab, and that's it. Oh, even outspaces the jab, wants to wait it out. Because if you're wrong about anything, or you commit at the wrong spot, oh, the level 2 in the tank! I was gonna say reversal super smokes your shit.
Still has opportunities. That's just game 3. Heading into game 4, Strider still has potentially 2 games ahead of him before they even make it to grand finals. So, gonna have to see the next evolution of how they play around Joe Rogan just doing whatever he wants.
On the upbeat this time instead of the downbeat, we're counter poking in the back, going for the confirm into the DP at the very tip there, and really trying to make sure that 801 Strider gets
beat the timing
mileage out of any negative frames. Yeah, he did. Side swap. Oh no, it catches the back roll. Oh!
Has the life lead, immediate backs up. Trying to get as much of this drive gauge back before they have to start blocking again. But Strider calmly walking forward.
I think what it is it's like Joe has found that he's comfortable standing in the range where 801 Strider feels like he's trying to jockey for position, and Joe's comfortable being like, yeah, I'll counter poke, whatever, I'm not all that worried. Cashing out the level 1 here is not going to be enough, and being in burnout here makes this real scary. Perfect parry, bottom counter back throw, you're in the corner, but the wake up level 1 from Joe, yeah, I take calculated risks, son. Set point.
It's calculated, but like, this time the scale is a little weighted, right? Because you know you don't have to worry about a projectile interrupting you. Everything she's gonna try and hit you with is a strike. And once you see the green, the only thing you're worried about is potentially just green into block. At that point, you lost anyway. So Joe setting himself up on set point, looking to meet Knuckle-Doo. Strider, though, not ready to give up just yet.
Nope, Joe with very little drive gauge here. We find an anti-air and we keep this corner position. And yeah, 801 Strider is specifically targeting the drive gauge, but Joe off of that charge knuckle is actually able to get a lot of resources back. 801 Strider is going to have to spend at least a little bit. He only spends level 2. I hope this is enough. Oh my god, it's not.
And we're about to get that level.
Oh!
I was about to say we're gonna get the level 3 opportunity from Joe Rogan, and instead he just gets scooped. Strider, again, staving off defeat at the very end.
He's adapting to the pace and space that his opponent wants to play very well. That perfect parry working out great right into the DI, maximizing that drive gauge damage. We're not going to catch up level 2. We want to go for the mix-up, but Joe Rogan puts himself into burnout. That trade is great for 801 Strider. Now just enjoy your plus frames, sir. It's all you can eat. Oh!
The buffer's insane. Eats up a lot of that recovery time for Joe Rogan. Pretty much going to be back just in time to get blasted into the wall. Oh, do we have these? Strider, do we got these? There it is.
Dead, right?
Game 5. Doesn't even need the wall. We'll get the wall anyway as a treat, but doesn't need it.
No wall, no flex. Game 5. Knuckle-Doo waiting in the winner's side of Grands. for one of these two players. I don't know what to make of this. It seems like 801 Strider has started to get a feel for where he needs to make bigger choices in neutral.
Spending some cash.
Oh, what a whiff punish.
Yeah, I mean, the punish counter there is going to buy you so much space, able to push him almost to the corner, but you just get counter hit. And they're literally just trading space on the screen back and forth like a tennis match.
Oh, the white boy jumping.
The privilege.
Before the armor even connects. My man's so privileged, he hits you before anybody else. He's first in line at the Apple Store. They put it aside for him. Set point for Joe Ume.
He knows
Rogan.
a guy.
It's nice to know a guy. If you can know a guy, know a guy.
Yeah, knowing a guy has its perks.
Okay, another nice whiff punish for 801 Strider. Your hope here is to push this as far as you can without spending bar, but you know Joe is being very active defensively when he can. That was the wrong spot to overcommit.
What's tough is that doesn't feel like an overcommit, because you're just like, I'm going to charge this, he's going to block it, and we're going to go from there. And instead, he just has such a good low button, he just comes right underneath.
Oh, DI gets whiff punished. Joe Rogan just goes for the target combo. Out of burnout now. Counter poke. Nothing's really going to come of it. Finds the low forward connect. We have the level 3 in the back. Yeah, you are assuredly dead, Joe Rogan. Going to get the run back against Knuckle up in grand finals.
Strider making a valiant effort to come into this third place matchup. The Joey Rogan just played so solidly at the end there, able to close it out. And as we pop back to the commentator screen, if you look in the bottom right, you could actually see Do is in the lab. It is just practicing while waiting for his set to start. So we're going to take a second chat. We do have the match arena. Last I saw, there was 1 code remaining.
There are 0 now.
You did it!
Pulled it up.
You did it, chat. We love that for you. So that means you get no ads heading into the grand finals. You did it. You earned no ads.
You were threatening them with ads?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody said that out loud. That's like, if you're going to threaten someone, it only works if you make sure they know.
Do you not remember when we did our ad break and I said there's 3 codes left, therefore you get 3 minutes of ads?
That's
you don't
far
remember.
Too much of a throwback.
You can plug in your hitbox if you want to get some control of your brain, because it just gives you the fluidity of action you need. You can head on over to hitboxarcade.com/casa to check it out. They have all of the information on the website. You can order one for yourself. You can look at all of the wonderful product imagery they have. It's pretty clean.
I will genuinely say I've not thought about it, but yeah, those are really clean product shots. And obviously, if you still want to play with Lever, they also offer the cross up, where they add the directional buttons as well. I have an old friend. Oh, that's sold out right now? Well, I'm sure you can wait for it. You can want it.
Yeah, you can waitlist it.
I have an old friend who's getting into Tekken with the drop of Tekken 8, and he's playing on a cross up right now, and he's like, oh my god, like, why have I ever not played this? So I think even if you prefer the feel of a lever, having access to leverless motion controls is just a benefit for you.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of showcases a trend that we've been seeing in the last like 6 months of people just adding buttons to whatever controller they're using. And so now they're just taking...
I like the DI foot pedal. The DI bass pedal, like the bass drum kick, that was a DI. That was my favorite.
You could probably set that up with one of your guitar pedals, honestly.
I 1,000,000% could.
Yeah.
But like, I just bind it to one of my buttons and, hit it appropriately.
Yeah, I mean, it's just funny because I feel like we're reinventing the keyboard, right? Like you buy like a leverless controller, you have your 4 motion, your 8 buttons, and then you add on 6 other buttons.
It's more ergonomic
than a keyboard.
It is. Yeah. Well, than some keyboards.
All right, fair. But like you can have oh, do I still have it right here? Is this it? Nope, that's a cable.
I don't know.
There it is.
That's a cable. We are fishing for electronics.
Yeah, like you could do like the Ultra David style split box type
Oh.
keyboard.
Yeah, that is a lot of work.
This
'cause you have to
one's
do it all yourself.
the buttons on this one are too squishy. These are pink. Actually, yeah, these are pink switches. They have like a 15-gram actuator. It is so easy to just accidentally type it.
Wow.
So
you know what's wild is like if you're somebody who prefers the feel of authentic Sanwa arcade hardware and traditional fighting game buttons, that's what you get on a hitbox as well.
Yeah.
So there's choices out there, but if you want that OG feel with the advantage of motion buttons, hitbox is your answer. Joe Umerogan versus NuckleDu up here in our grand finals, due on the winner's side, having won this very set when they played up in the winner's finals. And it was with this matchup, it was the Cammy. No, wait, it was the Guile, right?
No, it was Cammy. No, it was, yeah, you're right. It was Guile, because it was Strider Cammy was what it was.
Yes, thank you. I was like, I know he played Cammy once.
But yeah, I mean, this was the matchup that we saw the Guile, but it's Dew having just the world to play with, right? He's in the winner side. He has 2 sets to back him up in. So it's just Cammy practice at this point, right? Like we don't know how much Cammy Luke matchup experience he has, whereas we know for a fact he's got days worth of Guile Luke. So, and heading into Capcom Cup, I said this earlier, there's a lot of Lukes. Like you have to know the matchup.
No, absolutely. And I think, sometimes, especially, we're a hard tournament, but there's a lot of money on the line next week. If you're going to figure out how your Cammy does when it's all on the line, this is a great spot to try that out with a little bit of fire underneath you. NuckleDu has this first round and is still playing this really mid-range heavy game. I wonder how big a deal Cammy level 3 is in this matchup. Sandblast is so fast, I imagine that it's hard to use your level 3 as an anti-fireball tool against Luke.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see. As we watch
so many plus frames.
Once we see more Cammys into this matchup, but God, that's a lot of damage. Game 1 very quickly over to the NuckleDu Cammy. So, I mean, Joe was able to make it a very competitive 3-1. Oh God. I think that kind of answers your question right there, Brad. The Sandblast losing to the OD Spin Knuckle, the level 3 is definitely coming through.
Yeah, it might be positionally dependent, maybe, but I think if Dew is demonstrating that he has the reactions, that is all that really matters. Okay, Joe Morgan able to make a choice there that is going to work out, but I had said this when Dew was playing Cammy earlier. I feel like Dew is doing a really good job of ensuring that you feel like you're choosing what specific angle to control. The way he's advancing forward is really varied. Right at the tip of the dive kick, what was I talking about?
It's been so stellar on the dive kick. I mean, we saw it time again in the Strider matchup where it was just hitting so far forward that it's very reasonable to expect it was just going to whiff, but it clips the hitbox and you're off to the races. And so this one working out here for NuckleDu. Oh, the early button, that was definitely supposed to be a dive kick.
Yep. Try to press forward. Oh, you know what's dope here, actually? NuckleDu's even setting up the dive kicks with the normals before it. That standing medium kick was like, I'm baiting you into counter poking and then dive kicking you. Drive reversal through the plus frame situation. Going for the DI as the combo extender to maximize the drive gauge damage.
What?
Smart from Joe to counter poke there. Just real scary. Nice crosscut.
Takes corner of control, but he's still in burnout, so there is only so much you can do against the Cammy. That is certainly an option.
That's what I was going to say. There's a reason that Dew hasn't DI'd yet, and it's because Joe has those reversal super reactions on deck. CA available for NuckleDu, so Joe Marogan actually in a really scary spot. He's backing off a lot because he needs to try to pee the defender here. It's not going to work out. Is the CA enough? I believe that it ought to be.
Oh yeah, you're super dead.
At 2-0. Oh yeah.
Super dead. Full on assassination. Decapitation. Do taking it to 2-0, heading into this game 3. Joe Ume Rogan.
Around the nation? Instigation?
Defenstration?
Constabulation.
Proliferation?
Escalation.
Stipulation?
All right, Brad wins this one. But Joe Ume Rogan not winning this one does have a little ways to go, but every little bit counts. Every little bit counts in the matchup. There we go.
I think what's unfortunate here for Joe is like,
Ooh.
even on his alt character still looks really solid. We do find the stun here. Does Joe to be able to secure this round at the very least, but he is fighting from what I would call a pretty hearty deficit here.
Yeah, being down 2-0 against most players is already a bad thing.
Same thing. Look at that jab into dive kick. NuckleDu's ground game is all about setting up his dive kick spacing. It is immaculate. That dive kick would have worked and beaten the sweep if he had gotten the timing right.
Just so excited to get in there and deal damage that he's just preempting it. Does get the side swap.
80 spiral arrow, spacing trap, not going to work out. Finds the spacing trap there as Joe overcommits. Now, Du just wants to spend as little as possible. Level 1, please be enough. Yes, it is. It is tournament point for NuckleDu, only having had to spend the 1 bar.
Even if that hadn't been enough, you were in such a commanding position that there wasn't going to be much for Joe to do on Wake Up. But here we go, pushing to the corner one more time. Are you going to throw him into Oblivion? Joe Imarugan says no.
Oh my god, walk back, stand short. Du is doing a lot of counter poking with light level buttons, specifically to make sure that Joe tries to counter poke. Level 3 in the back. Yeah, this isn't going to kill, but NuckleDu critically going to end up at somewhere between 2 to 3 drive bars
Where's
left.
the DI?
I don't think you test it.
Oh, that's right. C is available. Yeah, that's actually super scary.
I think you walk forward, you make him respect it. Oh my god, anti-air, you kill him with a throw.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're pretty much dead once you get in that loop of blocking the spin knuckleball and burnout there. There's not a whole lot of ways out. You saw Joe test it by trying to get out with the level 3, and Du said, "Thank you for the drive meter. I'm gonna kill you now."
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about chess earlier today when we had Teiga on, who, once again, shout outs to Teiga, who was our guest this evening for the interview portion of the evening. But yeah, like in chess, sometimes you end up in situations where it's solved and it's like there's a discrete number of choices you can make and you lose in most of them.
Is he the first player to win 3 weeklies in the same week? I don't think so. I think that would have been Punk, honestly. I suppose it depends on which weeklies. I'm like 90%. Oh no, wasn't it JB? Because wasn't it this huge thing when JB won can opener into TNS into Casa?
Into Casa. Yeah, I think that did happen.
Pretty sure it was JB. That would have been like 2 months ago though, so I could be wrong. But anyway, congrats to NuckleDu winning tonight's bracket. Gonna be taking home a pretty healthy chunk of the match arena, which was gloriously supported by you at home, using up all of the coupon codes as well as the support from Hitbox tonight. They were able to support tonight's show, helping out with the match arena. Check them out for yourselves, hitboxarcade.com/casa. If you want to just click a link, you can do ! Hitbox in the chat and it'll pull up the link right for you. But other than that, we're pretty much done for the night.
I'm just waiting for Bunch to speak up. There he is. There we go.
Bunch is doing behind the scenes stuff. He's working, chat, working real hard.
I'm literally trying to get everybody into the match arena. Real quick, and I'm also gonna start the raid. We're gonna send everybody over to Noah. Noah's also playing in the LCQ, I believe. 801 Strider, I think, is playing in the LCQ, and then top 2 are already in the group stage. First place won Capcom Cup already before, so
many years ago,
but that still counts.
Oh, true.
If we're gonna give it to Kazunoko, we're definitely giving it to the NA players that took that shit home for a real super facts. But yeah, shout outs to the whole team. Shout outs to the commentary duo once again. the oldest duo to be on the Casa stage. Shout outs to Tom
Time-wise.
on stream.
Not age.
Shout outs to Dom on brackets, Yost on brackets, and Dan on social media. Thank you to the homies over at Hitbox Arcade for supporting this event. Shout outs to my brother Teiga. I love you. You're still a bitch. And who else? That's it. All right, I have to be up by 4 a.m. So that's why I'm speeding through this. So good night, everybody. For those I'm gonna see in Philly, I'll see you guys then on Saturday.